induction. I was surprised no Anthony Elanga. I am surprised, and then it's going to be a big game for young Zach Abbott. But as I say, we've seen it many a times with Nottingham Forest. If they're still in the game, they'll cause Man City a lot of problems.
Do you think, Clinton, it makes it any easier that Forest have been here in the last 4 years in a playoff final? Because that is a much bigger game in a strange way than an FA Cup semi-final, isn't it? So they've been there on the biggest days and they've done it.
Yeah, they have done it. I think it's different though. They're playing against some Man City teams that have been here many a times and won a lot of things here. So I think if that was up against a different team, but I just think this is the day. This is a different day, different football match. I know they were here for the playoff and done well here and won it, but this is different. I'm not in a Forest team. A lot of different new players, a different manager, different scenario and a different situation. But it's one they just got to go on there and not freeze. I've seen it many a times. Like here yesterday, you look at Aston Villa, been in great form. Didn't turn up, Crossley, didn't turn up. Got to credit Palace. Palace were outstanding. I think Forest will want to do their self-justice and their fans, these group of players.
And John, just on Manchester City, I mean, Pep Guardiola has basically shut down any talk, hasn't he, of this being something that can effectively save their season. His view is, you know, that the horse has already bolted there.
Yeah, and it's not been what they hoped for. I mean, they did start the season by winning the Community Shield here. Let's not forget that they do have the appointment in the United States for the FIFA Club World Cup still to come. And obviously they are favourites here to win this semi-final and get through to an FA Cup final where they would play Crystal Palace. So they may yet be able to salvage something from what you cannot shy and hide away from has been a disappointing season.
Right, you two, thank you very much indeed. Just over 10 minutes to kick off, and this is a real choice of listening with us this afternoon. If you want Liverpool versus Tottenham and what may be Liverpool's coronation, winning this Premier League title, it's here on 5 Live. If you want all the drama of an FA Cup semi-final, Nottingham Forest, Manchester City, head over to 5 Sports Extra, and John Murray and Clinton Morrison will take you through every single moment of drama. And let's check back in on the Rugby League now with Matt Newsom.
Yeah, Wigan have extended their lead 26 points to 12. Abaspisky finding the tiniest patch of grass to touch it down before going into touch, and Wigan extend the lead. It's Hull 12, Wigan 26.
We've got Women's Super League action going on as well. Leicester, Manchester City, Elizabeth Conway.
It's Leicester 0, Man City 0, 11 minutes into the second half, and it's City with all the chances and all the enthusiasm as striker and lioness Lauren Hemp has just been subbed on after 5 months off injured. Can she unsettle Leicester's tiring back line? It's Leicester 0, Man City 0.
Thank you very much, Elizabeth. So we are all eyes and ears here on 5 Live, here at Anfield now, which is almost absolutely full to capacity already. You could not get standing room in the pubs around Anfield or on the Anfield Road 2-3 hours before kick-off, and very, very shortly there will be no seats left here inside Anfield either. It is a real picture, Pat Nevin, this, isn't it?
Yeah, some people do turn up at the last second. They're downstairs having a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, a beer. Do you know what? Why would you want to soak up every single second of this if you were a Liverpool fan? So you're right, the vast majority of them are in here just now. No real singing yet, just a... There is no other word for it. You can feel buzz, can't you? You can actually feel it. You can feel it. There's somewhere behind there, and it's ready to erupt. And it's interesting to see the way the players react to it. You know, will they come out 100 miles an hour? Or will it be a more controlled start from these Liverpool players? No idea what's going to happen, and what will depend on what Spurs we see turning up. But do you know what? If you're a player and you hear that noise, it's really hard to stay calm in the middle of it.
It's going to get even louder in a second because they're about to read out the Liverpool team. There's another banner that's just emerged to our right hand side with all of Liverpool's glorious coaches and trophies won over the years. There are red balloons that are just floating by us here on this beautiful sunny day. It was just breezy enough outside Anfield earlier today to get all the flags that were for sale rippling back and forth in the sunshine. So this will be also the first time that Liverpool have played since at home since Virgil van Dijk signed his new contract. That's the sound of the stadium announcer getting ready to read out the Liverpool team. I mean, every name is going to be cheered to the rafters. That's Alisson Becker. This one will be interesting. Of course he gets a good reception. And listen to the noise now for Virgil van Dijk. Tells you everything you need to know. Andy Robertson's name is now being read over the tannoy. Ian Dennis, I was just looking back. This is the first time in the Premier League since February that Liverpool have been able to have their first choice goalkeeper and their first choice back four starting a Premier League game. So yes, it's true that other teams have had injuries, but Liverpool haven't had a perfect bill of health.
No, they've, Alisson for a start, he missed 11 games between October and December, so they've had to deal with their fair share of injuries. However, also when you look at the squad, he's managed it very, very well, Arne Slot. He hasn't used a great deal of players in that playing squad. It might be something like 23, 24. But what he has been able to do, there's been a degree of consistency despite that. And also, they reached the final of the League Cup. They went far in the Champions League and the new league phase. He's had very few free weeks during the season. He came into this country, had to adapt to that as a manager. The pre-season was a little bit disjointed. I would say he's probably only had 3 free midweeks where he's been able to coach the players. He's done an excellent job. He really has. It's a fantastic achievement for Arne Slot, and he will follow in the footsteps of Joe Fagan and Sir Kenny Dalglish, winning the title in his first full season in charge.
One of the things I've found remarkable about him, Pat Nevin, and we haven't actually seen Arne Slot today. Pat and I were sort of scanning the pitch earlier during the warm-up. We know if it was Jurgen Klopp still, he would have been stood somewhere in the centre circle facing the opposition team doing their warm-up. But it's a fair metaphor really, Pat, because in some ways he's similar. He's a great communicator. In other ways, especially stylistically, this is a very much a new Liverpool.
It is, but the most common thing for a new manager to come in anywhere is to make obvious changes, statement changes. So it's his team, because they lack confidence. If they win it, people might say, oh, it was Klopp's team that won it. He's never felt that, and Klopp's been brilliant about it as well. Well, he's not been there. So I love the fact he's thought, right, we need to make a few changes. However, certain players are coming through quicker. Gravenberch's improvement's been brilliant. McAllister improving all the time. Szoboszlai, Gakpo, they were young players. They're getting now to the right age to be winners. And he thought, well, that's good enough. That's it. We'll let that go. We'll let that develop. We'll see. I'll add my little bits. That takes real confidence and belief as a coach. And a wee bit of a lack of arrogance and ego as well. And that's great to have that. Because see, if you have too much ego and arrogance in some managers, it can destroy something that was wonderful before. There was something pretty wonderful before. He's just built on it. That's the right thing to do, but not always the easiest.
Amongst the many, many banners here inside Anfield, I've just seen the one which says Arne's Slot Machine. There have been times where he's pulled the lever with the same group of players over and over again. There's been talk about rotation, there's been talk about tiredness. However he has managed it has worked perfectly, and that is why Liverpool fans all around us are singing, and now you're going to believe us, we're going to win the league. On the 27th of April, Ian Dennis. That says everything.
Yes, it does, and it will be, just looking, it's going to be almost 35 years to the day. It'll be 35 years tomorrow since they beat Queen's Park Rangers in 1990, the last time it was in front of supporters. But for Liverpool, they'll be the 7th team in Premier League history to secure the title with 4 or more games remaining, if it is today. Because I was listening to Ange Postecoglou's press conference ahead of the game, and it was quite funny actually, Steve, because someone said, you were a Liverpool fan as a boy, would it be ironic if you were to spoil the party? To which he replied, listen mate, and there are certain ways he says mate that you know whether he's either happy with you or he's a little bit peeved off with you, and it was the latter. He said, I'm nearly 60 years as an adult, I've gone past my boyhood crushes, I've got great admiration for the club, but that was some 50 years ago.
Here come the players at Anfield, out in front of us. Remember your choice of listening. FA Cup semi-final, Nottingham Forest and Manchester City with John Murray and Clinton Morrison right now on 5 Sports Extra. But here inside a pulsating Anfield, the fans wait to celebrate for the first time in so long. Tottenham Hotspur look to spoil the party. It's Liverpool and Spurs with Pat Nevin and Ian Dennis.
Thank you, Steve. They enter the field as champions-elect, the Liverpool players. They're more than likely to depart it as champions of England. That is the wish, that is the hope, that is the expectation of the Liverpool supporters inside Anfield. They have a 12-point lead at the top of the table. This will be the 12th occasion that they can confirm themselves as champions whilst playing here at Anfield. You know the sign, this is Anfield. You can't see it, you can't touch it, but you can certainly hear it. This is Anfield. Inside Anfield, and one of the many banners and flags that are flying in the corporate way towards our right says Liverpool FC, support and believe. Tingly.
Certainly is. I do a show on Sunday mornings at 5 Live called Great Book Football Song about the Colin Murray. We should do that one someday. It's not bad, is it? Stunning.
Liverpool will be defending the Cup in the first half as we're underway on BBC Radio 5 Live, BBC Sounds, and also on the World Service. Tottenham are in their change strip, the all lilac. And here are the two teams. Alisson in goal for Liverpool, Alexander-Arnold, Van Dijk, Konate and Robertson. The two changes from the team that played against Leicester are the two fullbacks. Alexander-Arnold, who's on the ball now, coming in for Bradley. Robertson replaces Tsimikas. The midfield of McAllister, Gravenberch and Szoboszlai, and a front three of Salah, Diaz and Cody Gakpo. 8 changes that Tottenham Hotspur have made as Maddison will carry the ball forward on that far side. He looks for Tell making the run ahead of him, and it will go out of play for a goal kick. Vicario is in goal. Spence, Davies, Danso and Udogie, Gray, Bergvall, Maddison, Johnson, Solanke and Tell. So only Tell, Spence and Vicario are the 3 Tottenham players who retain their place in the starting lineup after that defeat against Nottingham Forest. Liverpool already on the front foot. McAllister with a pacey ball out towards this left-hand side. The noise is deafening inside Anfield. Don't forget though, as Steve said, that choice of listening. The second FA Cup semi-final is on Sports Extra. Nottingham Forest against Manchester City, which is underway at Wembley. We're on air until 7 o'clock tonight as Danso gets very, very tight towards Diaz and gives away a direct free kick 30 yards out from goal.
Really good play there by Diaz. And he's not the tallest, you think of him as most of a winger, but when he's playing centrally, he's very, very strong. He's got low centre of gravity, really hard to get around him, and he wins a free kick just outside shooting range. But then again, Trent Alexander-Arnold's on the pitch.
Well, it was his goal at Leicester coming off the bench. He'd missed the previous 4 since starting against Paris Saint-Germain almost in the middle of March. He's back in the starting lineup. It's actually not to the England international, who goes towards Salah, going through somewhat of a drought, links up with McAllister. Salah shoots off his left boot, just over the top, over the crossbar. Goal kick, 0-0, 5 live.
I mean, that's stunning when you watch Mo Salah doing that. Gets the ball on the right hand side, plays a 1-2, and he's going to go along that 18-yard line. He does it every time. Can't stop him though. Just off target, but good start.
Goal in the WSL, Elizabeth Conway.
It's Leicester 0, Man City 1. The goal at 69 minutes came from a brilliant strike from Jess Park at close range. It's City with all the possession despite Leicester's heroic defending. It's Leicester 0, Man City 1.
Earlier, Chelsea lost their Champions League semi-final again by 4-1, so Barcelona went through 8-2 on aggregate. Vicario all in yellow in the sunshine, patches of blue sky wherever you look above Anfield. It's the type of weather that reeks of winning the title, doesn't it? The sun is shining.
End of season.
End of season. And the fact that they have still got 4 games left to play. It's felt like it's been a question of when rather than if for some time, but today could well be the day. Indeed, if it stays like this, it will be the day, because they just require a point after Arsenal dropped points in midweek. Arne Slot said on Friday that he and the players watched that game all together as the ball goes back against Tottenham Hotspur, and Liverpool in their illustrious history have done it twice before when Tottenham Hotspur have been the opposition. 1982, the penultimate game of the season, they won by 3-1, and in 1988, with 4 games to spare, they beat Tottenham by 1-0 here at Anfield. The great Peter Beardsley, part of that superb Liverpool side, with the only goal as Liverpool celebrated title success in the 80s against Spurs. As here Spurs are attacking, and Maddison to the edge of the area with his back to goal, back to Archie Gray. Cross worked over from the left. Brennan Johnson was almost ready to pounce. Liverpool get the ball away and then lose the ball, but in fact it wouldn't have counted. Offside. There's been a goal at Wembley. Commentary on Sports Extra. John Southall, who's got it?
What a start for Manchester City. Nottingham Forest 0, Manchester City 1. Rico Lewis inside the D. Really good finish into the bottom left-hand corner. Forest 0, Manchester City 1.
John Murray and Clinton Morrison providing commentary on Sports Extra. This is exclusive radio commentary on BBC Radio 5 Live and the World Service, also available on the BBC Sounds app from inside Anfield on this sunny day where we've been playing for nearly 5 minutes and it is 0-0. What have you made of the start, Pat?
Well, Liverpool have been the better, stronger team. They've been in the ball much more often, so their possession stats will be up. But Tottenham are not being passive. They're not a team, they've not walked out here expecting just to be patsies on the day. I actually like the way they've started this game. It looks like an Ange Postecoglou team. They're putting in the effort, they're closing down, they're trying to get forward in decent numbers when they actually do get the ball. So actually, decent start so far.
Well, here is Tell. It's his 20th birthday today. He loses the ball. Gravenberch now picks it up and runs forward. He's got Gakpo going ahead of him. He looks for a ball through the middle. It was cut out by a sliding Davis. Diaz now back with Liverpool. All in red, playing from right to left as we look, attacking the Anfield Road end. Diaz, his ball takes a deflection, loops in the air, and wasn't necessarily dealt with at the first time of asking by Udogie, and helped out by Tell. They clear it downfield.
Just Liverpool, when they are on the ball, it's much more controlled, isn't it? They know what they're doing. They believe in themselves to get it in close proximity to other blue shirts that are getting close to them. A little bit more stretched if you're a Tottenham player, maybe not so many options ahead of you. But that's always the case when you come to Anfield. That just shows you that Liverpool started off the way they wanted to, the way the manager wanted them to, and the way the fans wanted them to.
Vicario, the Tottenham goalkeeper, has the ball at his feet, all in yellow, away towards our left as the firework is let off somewhere outside Anfield. The scene certainly on the team bus made its way to the ground. Looked like absolute mayhem. The supporters lining the streets in their thousands. The red smoke flares were let off. You could hardly see the team bus at one point. Tell looks for Solanke, cut out, then Gravenberch tries to release Salah with an early ball out of defence. Salah makes a run out towards the left-hand side, and then his arcing ball into the penalty area. It goes too far ahead of DIOS, who was making a lung-bursting run through the middle to try and keep up with him, and then Szoboszlai goes to charge down the clearance from Archie Gray. Every challenge is being cheered by this fervent Liverpool support.
But the break was brilliant from Liverpool there. It was such a typical run there from Mo Salah. Knows where the space is, looking all the time. He's running away from the goal. He knew the only ball that could get DIOS in was the one between the centre-back and the goalkeeper. Problem was DIOS cut himself out from it. Nothing wrong with the ball from Salah, everything right. It's just that DIOS stopped running.
Robertson tidies up, back it goes to Alisson. Solanke, former Liverpool player, closes him down. Out to Konate along the ground. Szoboszlai lays it off. Gravenberch comes onto it over the halfway line. And then Gravenberch infield towards McAllister. Bergwall, who scored his first goal for Tottenham against Liverpool in the League Cup semi-final first leg in North London, makes the challenge. Liverpool though back with DIOS. Gakpo on the left-hand side. Robertson, Van Dijk forward, reaches Gravenberch, and then the move breaks down as McAllister's pass goes astray, and Ben Davies, the Welsh international, towards Vicario. Talked a lot about Liverpool, but Postecoglou was saying that he wants his team to come here and to compete, wants his team to try and be competitive, sends his team out with that instruction every time. I know it hasn't happened for what has been an extremely disappointing league campaign, and yet it could result in Tottenham getting their first trophy since 2008. There's the ball from Van Dijk to Gakpo, and Gakpo did very well to get it goalwards on the half volley, awkward to control, right-footed, and Vicario has touched it behind for a corner at his near post. Corner kick to Liverpool 0-0.
Well, the assistant referee's in the right position there. Gakpo gets it like on the left-hand side there. There's not much on there, but he gets it towards the target. And to be honest, I'm not sure that can physically be a corner kick. It was either gone out already, or there's no way that he carried it out there. No chance at all, I think. Liverpool got a bit lucky to get a corner kick here.
Tom Bramall is the referee here this afternoon. So in front of the Anfield Road end, there's loyal Tottenham fans who've made the journey up. That's where the corner kick is going to come from on this near side. And it goes into a crowded area. Vicario comes at it, gets something on it. Szoboszlai down into the ground. Oh, the overhead kick from Gakpo would have been absolutely exquisite. He teed it up a couple of times. His right-footed effort was just off target. That would have been spectacular.
You know, before he had teed it up, you think there's only one thing you can do here, but you've got to get everything right. And he did. The first touch stops it, then he flicks it up, and then he swivels his body, catches it on the volley. There is not a hope in the world that Vicario would have saved that had it been on target, but it just bent away.
He's actually gone 9 games without a goal. His last was against Tottenham in the League Cup semi-final for Cody Gakpo. 16 goals he scored for Liverpool. But it's been a positive start, hasn't it?
Yeah, they've started well. I mean, Gakpo's holding the ball up really well there. Really impressed the way that Gravenberch and McAllister, one of them goes, one of them stays. Sometimes they seem to understand each other. When's the time when it's safe to go and go into dangerous positions? So really difficult duo to play against, and that's before you even consider Szoboszlai, who's in there trying to create space. They've looked really good so far. However, corner kick against Liverpool.
Yes, Tottenham Hotspur on this near side, the right, attacking the Kop end. 10.5 minutes played, 0-0. Maddison, one of those 8 changes, strolls across in the shadows of the Kop to take it. Solanke winning that corner in a duel with Konate. He's in no hurry to place the ball down on the very fringes of the quadrant on this near side, the right. Spurs playing from left to right as we look. Liverpool have every red shirt back inside the penalty area. It's going to be an outswinger from Maddison. Left arm goes aloft, right-footed corner kick comes in now, and the header is in. And Dominic Solanke, a former Liverpool player, on his return here at Anfield, gives Spurs the lead. That wasn't in the script. Liverpool 0, Tottenham Hotspur 1.
Well, it may not be in the script, but it was made this very, very interesting indeed. They've hardly been up the pitch so far. As I say, they've not been playing badly, Spurs, but Liverpool control most of the possession. But they get that corner kiss, and it's a very, very clean header. He's on his own really at the back post, which should never really happen at a corner kick. But he just uses his physicality, gets between two players there, and he powers it down low into the corner. Absolutely nothing else he can do. Game on.
Only scored 1 goal in his 27 appearances for Liverpool in that 18-month spell that was ravaged by injury. But I take you back to 1990, the last time that Liverpool won the title in front of their supporters some 35 years ago. It was against London opposition that day, and it was slightly earlier, this goal from Solanke. But Roy Wegerle, after 14 minutes, gave Queen's Park Rangers the lead before Ian Rush and that John Barnes penalty in the second half secured the title. But Spurs are 1-0 up. And the point that Liverpool require...
Yeah, it's not there, huh? Absolutely right, it's not there just yet. I mean, we did mention it beforehand, it's not an absolute foregone conclusion. It's likelihood that Liverpool would win today, but this makes it a much more interesting game actually, because the control that you expect Liverpool to get, the way the fans behind them, they may have a chance now.
Ben Davies has given the ball away. Salah with a cross just over the head of a tumbling Luis Diaz. Spence now will clear for Spurs, and Solanke, who's full of running, I've got to say, will pursue that ball, and Van Dijk tidies it up back towards Alisson. Liverpool this season have failed to score just 4 times in 51 games in this campaign. Nottingham Forest, Spurs, Plymouth and Paris Saint-Germain.
What you don't want to do if you're Spurs is now to sit back and try and take up as much of the pressure that's going to get put on you. You do that here, you do that against Liverpool, generally it's not going to work. You do that here at Anfield when the fans are in this kind of supporting mood. It doesn't seem the most sensible thing to do. So I said they weren't passive beforehand. Spurs, they've not been passive. They have to make sure they can keep that up.
Ball out of the top from defence from Konate. McAllister runs onto it, edge of the area. He finds Luis Diaz. Diaz turns onto his left foot, back onto his right, still can't find a shooting opportunity. Tries to chip the ball to Salah, takes the deflection. Tell comes back to help out and clears the ball away. So in the FA Cup, Manchester City leading Nottingham Forest by 1-0. That's on Sports Extra. Here at Anfield on 5 Live, the World Service and BBC Sounds. Tottenham Hotspur are 1-0 up. Tottenham, who've only had 1 win in their last 14 league meetings against Liverpool. And that was actually in North London in September 23. Jones and Jota were sent off. Their record, actually at Anfield, isn't great. Spurs have lost their last 3 visits to Anfield and haven't won in 15 games since 2011. Van der Vaart and Modric were on target that particular day. 15 minutes played. Update in the Rugby League. Matt Newsom.
Yeah, we're going to have a big buffer now. 32 points to 12 they lead here. Bevan French with a counter-attack. Hull were on the Wigan line. Bevan French turned that with a flash, and it's 32 points to 12.
15 minutes played here at Anfield. Pat Nevin.
And if you're a Liverpool fan, you're listening in here, it's not going to happen with Spurs. They're not going to sit back and soak up, because the manager's called Ange Postecoglou. So they're playing a really high line again, which is exactly what Liverpool, some of the players, like to play against.
Gakpo's ball in, stabbed away up into the air by Davis. Spence heads it away. McAllister runs away from Solanke. Back with Van Dijk, left of the centre circle. Konate, every outfield player is in the half away towards our left. Here is Konate now coming forward. And they've got 2 options, and he takes the advanced option of Salah, who now slides the ball through to Szoboszlai, squares it! Flag goes up. Flags raised on the far side. The celebrations are cut short. Naturally, VAR will have a look. Liverpool thought that equalised.
Yeah, but it is very close. The through ball I thought was fine. And I don't know if that's the one that's going to get called. I think it may well be the actual pass into the middle was suggesting that was offside. So we're watching here on the monitors. The first ball I thought was a beautiful through ball. I thought that was onside. And I'm looking at it again here, and it looks onside to me. It's very, very close. I wouldn't be surprised if this goal stands.
Szoboszlai looked onside. Certainly Luis Diaz was coming from a position where he wasn't offside. I like you, Pat, think this goal will stand.
And, to be honest, it's very, very close, and it's all about that first pass. And the assistant referee's put it up, and that's it. Do you know what? It's right to put it up because you're not sure. Let's have a check. They would have checked it anyway. But my first thought was it was beautifully timed, the pass and the run. This is millimetres. You tell by the noise.
You will hear the roar when the referee gives his decision. VAR having a look.
Semi-automated.
I've only had one look at it on the monitor. To the naked eye, he looked onside.
But as in just by a shirt, the width of a shirt, no more than that. But it looked okay.
There it is. The goal stands, and Luis Diaz runs away to celebrate amidst the din. Every Liverpool supporter is on their feet. Shirts, scarves, flags. If it's red and white, it's flying in the air. And Luis Diaz has levelled. And we're back all square. And Liverpool have the point that they so badly crave, 1-1.
Yeah, let's underline it was a brilliant goal, and classically from that right-hand side. That's what Liverpool do. They tear teams apart. There's a slightly higher line than you would absolutely necessarily have. And there's that slip ball through. And when you get towards the byline, you just know. And it's only the width of a shoulder. It's nothing more than that. But it's a brilliant ball, as usual. The timing, the slip ball through by Salah was phenomenal. Szoboszlai, he's actually not done a huge amount so far. But I mentioned before, all he's doing is looking for space. Wow, he found the space there, didn't he? 1-1, beautiful goal. Classic, typical Liverpool goal.
And the party only went flat for all of 4 minutes.
But you know, it's Tottenham. You know, they give goals away, they create chances. You will make chances against them. So, 1-1. Let's hope it keeps on being this exciting for the rest of the game.
You know, in the main stand, normally that's where the supporters are slightly more reserved. Bergvall with a cutback on the right-hand side. Not now, as Luis Diaz's chant reverberates around Anfield. Even in the bottom tier, as I look down, they were dancing in the stands down below. Liverpool 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. The tails are up now for Liverpool. Salah holds off the challenge of Udogie and is able to turn and then waits and then holds onto it and passes the ball back. And here is Van Dijk. Konate right in the centre circle, finds McAllister. Szoboszlai helps it out now towards Salah. They are working their way into Tottenham territory. 1-1 on 5 Live. Salah on the right. His cross into the penalty area. Headed away by Spence. Solanke. His header is misdirected. Falls to Gravenberch. Runs forward. Salah able to turn onto his left boot. Back to Gravenberch. Taken for Gakpo. The flag again is raised on the far side. This one might be offside. But again, VAR will have the final say.
Stick on offside, that one. Well offside. But it's the same position again. They're going down the right-hand side. They are absolutely shredding Spurs down that right-hand side. It was not only once offside, it was twice offside in that move. So I don't think there's any doubt about that one at all. But on the right-hand side, they've seen there's a slight weakness there. Udogie wants to fly forward, but he's not getting forward. But every time Salah gets the ball, he looks dangerous. But every player on that right-hand side wants to slip the ball in, because you have third-man runners all the time. By the way, can we go back to the goal for a second? Salah will not get an assist for that goal, which is a crime against football, because it was all the intelligence of Salah and his movement that made that first goal for Liverpool.
That goal was disallowed. We're back underway. Liverpool 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Such is the noise inside Anfield. There was an instruction from the studio. I absolutely could not hear it for a minute. but thank you for repeating it. It's an update from Wembley. John Southall.
It's Forest 0, Man City 1. City have been so dominant in these opening 20 minutes. Rico Lewis with a goal inside 2 minutes. Marmouche has just hit one over the crossbar. Forest just simply cannot get hold of the ball. Penned in their own half. Forest 0, Man City 1.
A red smoke bomb has been let off in the Liverpool end, in the Anfield Road end, away towards our left, so there's a slight misty red haze which is drifting towards the blue skies on Merseyside as the sun continues to shine. Liverpool 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. We're approaching the midway point of the first half. Pat Nevin.
You just watched, if you're a Spurs fan, there was a good turnout of Spurs fans today. There's a lot of them out there to your left hand side. And you must watch them every week and think, why are we so high against teams that love to run from deep, and we don't close midfielders down, especially someone like Salah. And he's got so many options. You know Gravenberg will come from deep. You know McAllister will. Szoboszlai is fantastic at it. Gakpo's doing it as well. And by the way, the two fullbacks are going to run from deep as well. Every time they get the ball in midfield, your heart must be in your mouth if you're a Spurs fan today.
That's the familiar voice of Pat Nevin on BBC Radio 5 Live, who was with us here this afternoon as Konate with a back pass to Alisson, able to control it inside the D. Forward ball, Alexander-Arnold comes into a central area and then right-footed hits it, and it drifts out of play for a Tottenham throw over on that far side that old doggy will take for Spurs. 1-1.
Just calm down a little bit. I mean, it was never for 5 or 10 minutes. Liverpool scoring, getting the ball in the net again after having lost the goal. So lots of excitement. Maybe it needs a few moments just to calm down a little bit. The players at Liverpool, I just don't think they like that. I think they want to keep it going at a high tempo.
Robertson's header went astray. Spurs have it with Davis, leaves it for Kevin Danso, who is on loan from Lens with an obligation to buy. A £21 million deal has been lined up in the summer. There'll be a 5-year contract, as Vicario, the goalkeeper for Spurs, just gives it short and square. Davis, Maddison comes over to play the ball forward. We look for Tell on the left-hand side, cut out by Alexander-Arnold, infield to Diaz. Strokes it out now towards Gravenberg, forward to Salah, right-hand side level the area to Gravenberg, gives the ball back towards Salah. Salah tried to return the favour, Gravenberg wasn't on the same wavelength, Maddison was there. Tell is back helping out, Spurs though are deep and they've lost the ball, and Gravenberg helps it run towards McAllister! Oh, what a goal! Left-footed rocket into the top right-hand corner. That's the goal to get the party started. Liverpool have come from behind. They lead Spurs by 2-1.
Well, if you're a Liverpool fan, manager, player, particularly McAllister, you went to bed last night and thought, wonder if I could score a 20-yarder right in the top corner to put us ahead. He's just done that there. It was brilliant. The way the ball was won back, when they had no right to win it back. Spurs are trying to play it out from the back, but he didn't have the power and the physicality to hold on to the ball. Won back, and McAllister had one thing in his mind. Took 2 or 3 little touches across that 18-yard line there. That's high pressing. It's all about the high pressing, getting the ball back again. McAllister, it's actually 2 touches, and he lashes it into the top of the net from about 20 yards. What a goal! 2-1. Torture for Spurs fans, but you're not shocked, are you?
He's matched his tally from last season. 7 goals last, 7 for this, and he's had some sweet strikes since he arrived from Brighton Hove Albion. And now the chant is, we're going to win the league. They only needed a point. Liverpool are on course for all 3. This is the atmosphere inside Anfield on BBC Radio. From Tottenham Hotspur's point of view, because I know Ange Postecoglou was looking for a result to try and give them some sort of impetus to take into that game against Bodo Glimt on Thursday. What they don't want now is to suffer a heavy defeat.
Yeah, and the thing about Liverpool, they won't go in cruise control today. They want this to be a joy. We were talking about it before the game. What do you want if you're Liverpool? You want to win on a sunny day. You want to score lots of goals. You want to win it with style. Well, they're 2-1 up. There's been plenty of style about it so far, but they will not stop here. They will keep going. Just one other thing about that goal there from Liverpool. They're winning the ball back by Gravenberg. and then giving it to his mate McAllister. Those two have been a phenomenal duo in this campaign. Very, very fitting. They should be involved in that very important goal.
Full time in the WSL, Elizabeth Conway.
It's Leicester 0, Man City 1. A well-deserved win for a dominant Man City. The goal came in the second half with a superb strike from Jess Park. City fans will be thrilled to see Lauren Hemp back on the pitch after 5 months off with injury. It finishes Leicester 0, Man City 1.
It's also finished in League One at St Andrews. Birmingham City 4, Mansfield Town 0, earlier Stevenage 1, Rotherham 1 was the scoreline in that division. Nottingham Forest 0, Manchester City 1 in the FA Cup semi-final remains the latest at Wembley. Commentary of that is currently on Sports Extra. And during the week as well, we've got Tuesday night, Arsenal Paris Saint-Germain live from the Emirates, and on Thursday we're live in Bilbao. Athletic Bilbao against Manchester United, but we will have news of Spurs and Chelsea too in their semi-finals of European competition. As Tottenham Hotspur, over on that far side, the left, 27 minutes played in the sunshine here at Anfield, have a free kick in front of the Sir Kenny Dalglish stand. And it's Maddison who wraps his foot around it, and Solanke's looping header is tipped over by Alisson. Corner kick to Spurs, 2-1 Liverpool.
Yeah, for the fact that Liverpool have been very good, they've managed to go ahead after that one difficult moment with Solanke scored. You wouldn't be absolutely shocked if they scored against Spurs, because they do look quite dangerous when they're going forward, obviously particularly from set pieces. I mean, Alisson had to do and tip that one over the bar. It was probably going over anyway, but he knew it. However, we now have a Spurs corner from exactly the same position which they scored already.
And it's on this near side, the right, attacking the Cop end, playing in their change outfit. So a sky blue or a hint of lilac, hard to tell from our position so far away here at in our commentary position at Anfield, right to the halfway line. But Maddison is going to take it nevertheless on the right hand side, and the left arm goes aloft. Tell makes himself available, he's not utilised. In it goes to that area. Canate this time stood firm, headed it away. Danso was trying to get on the end of it. Ball is hit by Spence, but goes behind Maddison. Will he keep the ball in play? Yes, he will. Down by the corner flag, and then Alexander-Arnold wanders across to the left back area and puts it out of play for a Tottenham throw.
Trent looked a wee bit uncomfortable there in that left back position. Ball went over his head, but he didn't panic, kept it calm, and made sure Maddison couldn't get the cross in.
Indeed, it's light blue. Just had that confirmed as Spence sends over the cross from the right, headed forward by Davies, bounces off the chest of Gravenberch. Szoboszlai, his ball took a deflection, allowed Alexander-Arnold to volley it away downfield. Spurs tied it back up towards Vicario, chips the ball out, read though by Gakpo, his header in field, Bergvall can't get there, Diaz was too quick for him, infield to Szoboszlai, caught by Maddison, and Maddison gives away a free kick. Szoboszlai stays down. Let's get an update from Wembley, John Southall.
Forest 0, Man City 1. Chance for City. Nico O'Reilly did brilliantly, 30 yards out, evaded 2-3 challenges. His 25-yarder wide of the right-hand post. Forest 0, City 1.
Commentary on Sports Extra.
Maddison's furious about that free kick being given against him. Again, it's about 32, 33 yards out, and he feels as if he get the ball. We've seen it in slow motion there again. He did get a little bit of the ball, but the referee says they've come into the back, got a bit of the player, and he's given a free kick, and he's within his rights to do that.
Well, it is fractionally left of centre. It's 30 yards out, and it's in that area of the field where half of Anfield is in the shadows of the main stand, the other half is bathing in sunshine, and it's just in that little bit of the shadow where you've got Alexander-Arnold, Szoboszlai and McAllister as a trio deep in discussion. McAllister now walks away and informs part of a two-man wall in front of the three-man Spurs wall. It's teed up to Alexander-Arnold, who rifles it right-footed over the crossbar. Goal kick, Liverpool lead 2-1.
Well, the thing I was going to underline about that as well, get it on target. It is straight into the goalkeeper's eyes with the sun right there. You mean, just get it on target. Ask that question. Keepers hate it when you put a ball on target. It doesn't need to be that fast there at about eye line, but it was smashed over the top.
Solanke might have had a little nudge in the back by Van Dijk, but the referee didn't seem that was unfair. He lets play continue. Ball played forward by Gravenberch, gets it back. I mentioned our European coverage on 5 Live during the week. This today actually is a run of 3 successive matches for Liverpool against opponents who are in European semi-finals. They travel to Chelsea away next Sunday, and then they're at home to Arsenal on the 11th of May. McAllister, Bergvall closes him down with the help of Van Dijk. They see it back to Alisson. 14 minutes to go to half-time. Liverpool 2-1 up.
It's lovely, we're in a really high position here. We're able to see the systems that Liverpool play. And yeah, they've got a centre forward up there, it's Luis Diaz, but they've got so many of those who come from deep. We'll finish that in a minute.
Salah chases after it, and just got away from him. Oh, he gets a corner.
Slightly surprised by that. I was just saying that if you're a centre back and you're from Spurs, you're thinking, right, who's my man I'm marking? Well, in 1 minute you actually think, oh, it's obviously Diaz. Then Szoboszlai will be the centre forward, and then it's Gravenberch. And it's honestly, you have no idea at any point in time during the build-up and play who that man will be. They rotate it so well, those positions from the midfield forward. It's horrendous, and you just have to take your eye off that any one of those players for 1 minute, and everybody in that midfield could thread a ball through to them. They are a delight to watch tactically.
They've just been blinded by someone in that corner where McAllister waits to take the corner kick. Has got 2 inflatable balloons in the number 20, and because they're silver, they're glinting off the sunshine. As McAllister got a standing ovation, readiness to take that corner kick over on that far side. Liverpool lead by 2-1. As still those balloons are being lifted in the air. We've had beach balls being banded around ahead of kick-off. Red and white balloons. Certainly that fella who had the replica Premier League trophy, if Steve Crossman said he was charging £10 a photo, when I walked past him he was charging a £5. He must have made a real mint today.
You've seen him coming.
McAllister still waits to take it. The referee...
It's weird, the ball keeps rolling off. You know, I didn't think it was that. We're quite high up, so it doesn't look that windy down there, and it shouldn't be with this huge stadium, but the ball keeps rolling off the spot.
He waits, and it'll be the 3rd time of asking, and in it comes now from that right-hand side. Bergvall's header might fall here to Gakpo. Gakpo gets the shot away! Gakpo takes it in! There's no stopping Liverpool now! Cody Gakpo! His last goal was against Spurs. It's his first in 10, and it's against Tottenham Hotspur. And Liverpool now lead by 3-1. And they are on course for the Premier League title.
You know, twinkle toes, he gets the ball down there. He really ought not to get shot away there. If you're defending well there, you should actually be able to close him down. But he's got such quick feet there. He knows what he wants to do all the way through that move. So when it gets to him, he just goes to his right, away from the goal, knowing that he wants to switch it back to that far corner. And he does it brilliantly. But if you're Ange Postecoglou, if you're a Spurs fan or a Spurs defender, you're thinking somebody's got to make a tackle there, and he just dances through 2 challenges and just pings it into the corner. 3-1, and I think Liverpool fans can relax a wee bit now.
I know who you were referring to earlier when you spoke about the gentleman who was a little bit apprehensive, should we say. I know him well. I would imagine that
he's relaxed.
He can relax.
Yeah, he was worried about it, and that's just a man with experience. But you take nothing for granted. It's a good way to be. Take nothing for granted in football. But these fans here have now basically officially started the party.
And Cody Gakpo took the shirt off with his goal celebrations and was booked as a result. So Cody Gakpo shown a yellow card. I don't think that he will mind too much about that. Bergvall with a cross, stopped by Virgil van Dijk. Tottenham took the lead. Liverpool, though, have responded with 3 goals, and we still have 10 minutes to go to half-time, and they're full of running. As Salah, he'll want to get on the score sheet. They lose the ball. Tell looks towards Maddison, stopped by Konate. And then Konate linking up with Luis Diaz. He looks over his shoulder, shrugs off the challenge of Tell, and finds Alexander-Arnold ahead of him on that right-hand side, and then Konate filling in as a right-back gets it back from Salah. They're in full control.
They are, and you know, I was talking at the start of the game about the improvements you're getting for the likes of Gakpo becoming better and better, Szoboszlai growing into it, all the rest of them. has there any player improved more in terms of quality than Kanate? He has become a stalwart, but much more comfortable in the ball, reading the game generally much better. Hey, every defender will make mistakes, but every time he's on the ball now, he gets such a reaction from this crowd here. Much loved.
Full time in the Super League, Matt Newson.
Yeah, Wigan looking ominous. 36-12, they've beaten Hull here. They climb up to second. Bevan French was the star. He had his hand on pretty much on fingertips, pretty much on everything. Hull FC linked with Wigan in the first half, scoring the 12 points. Score price looking good, but in the end it's Wigan looking back to their best. Hull FC 12, Wigan 36.
When Pat says that the party has started, it seems that every Liverpool supporter inside Anfield is swirling their red and white scarf over their heads as they celebrate. They're leading by 3-1. They're underway in the Women's Champions League semi-final. Lyon against Arsenal, Victoria Polly.
And Arsenal have a 2-1 deficit to overturn from the first leg. They've come back in both of their previous knockout ties this season so far, but Lyon are record 8 times champions of this competition. Daphne Van Domselaar returns from injury in goal for Arsenal, while Chloe Kelly is favoured for Beth Mead. And much talked about Lyon star defender Wendy Renard is back in the side, and Arsenal have just taken the lead. They've got it back to 2-2.
So Arsenal have got that goal. That'll make it interesting. Barcelona earlier beat Chelsea's women by 4-1, so they went through 8-2 on aggregate. So we'll keep you in touch with that. This is 5 Live. We're also live on the World Service and BBC Sounds. And Liverpool leading 3-1. This fixture has produced more goals than any other in Liverpool's Premier League history, and we've currently had 204 now that have been scored between Tottenham and Liverpool. When they met just before Christmas, it was 6-3 in North London. We could have a few more yet to add to the tally that we've got already.
You could, I mean, obviously Liverpool are looking great favourites at the moment, but it's, you know, it's 3-1. If Spurs could get a goal back, although they've not had that many opportunities to go to the field, if they could get one back before half time, but it doesn't look like. Almost broke away against Liverpool.
Required Ben Davies to come across and to curve the run of DIOS, but the referee has brought play back. Referee Thomas Gravel. Liverpool have got a free kick. It's a deafening noise inside Anfield. Robertson on the halfway line back towards Van Dijk. They're looking to make up for the title that they couldn't celebrate 5 years ago. Not with the team, at least anyway. Difficult times during that COVID period and the social distancing. As Liverpool get it up now towards Gakpo. Robertson's bombing on with him on the left-hand side as Gakpo now makes a run in field. Uses Robertson's run, Robertson's cross, Salah's header. Here is the boss line. Tease of Alexander-Arnold down into the ground. Davies with a header away. Liverpool are riding on the crystal wave of the energy inside Anfield Stadium.
Yeah, that move was sumptuous. It was an absolute joy to watch. I mean, you knew it, every single pass that was going to be made 2 or 3 seconds before it was made, but it didn't matter. Spurs couldn't do anything about it. That move deserved a goal from the left-hand side there. Ended up a shot on target. No goal, but yeah, playing some lovely football just now.
So we've got about 5 minutes to go to half-time here on 5 Live. Nottingham Forest, Manchester City was also a 4:30 kickoff. John Southwood.
Played 38 minutes here in Nottingham Forest 0, Manchester City 1. City in total control at the moment. One chance for Forest. The flag was up there. Chris Wood, good chance wide the right hand post. Forest 0, Man City 1.
Well, on a slot when he spoke to the media ahead of this game, he was asked, will you enjoy it? And he said, I'll only enjoy it once the final whistle has sounded. You might remember Jurgen Klopp with that chant of Arne Slot. That is the chant that is currently being sung by the Liverpool supporters inside Anfield. He will be the third Liverpool manager to win the league title in his first full season. As Tell to the edge of the area is held up by Alexander-Arnold. Madison still with Spurs on that far side. Spur with a cross coming in. And tucked in was Robertson to head it away. Joe Fagan, 84. Sakana Dalglish, 86. Arne Slot is in extremely good company.
It is a phenomenal thing to do in your first season. But I'd love to underline just now. I did not see this coming at the start of the season. And I tell you, a lot of people say now, you know, oh yeah, they were definitely going to go and push on. come on, losing Jurgen Klopp, he just didn't feel it could go this well. So that adds to the fact that, you know, the expectation was a wee bit more limited than others had had, and Slot would have been given a little bit more time, wouldn't they have? But he absolutely he's been brilliant so far.
But I don't think you were alone. I don't think many neutrals would have expected Liverpool to be in this position, not with still 4 games remaining as well. And in fact, I don't know whether you were one of them, but I don't think there was one BBC pundit on the BBC Sport website that predicted that Liverpool would win the title this year.
I'll be honest, I rated Jurgen Klopp and his effect on Liverpool Football Club so highly. I just said we'd lucky to get in the top 4. It's not anti-Liverpool, it's just a respect for what Jurgen Klopp had brought to this club. However, I didn't know how good the slot would be, and also the fact that it's more than that, there's something else, something bigger, which we'll deal with after the game, which is bringing in the right players over a period of time and them growing into it. And that's when we talk about the Szoboszlais and the McAllisters and Gakpos, etc. They're just getting better and better and better all the time.
Well, if you recall the conversation that he had with Gary Lineker earlier in the season, you can go back and find it on the BBC Sounds app. He was talking a lot about the work that he inherited from Jurgen Klopp and the culture within the training ground that he'd also inherited as Johnson comes forward for Spurs in towards Solanke. Tell arriving, Konate to make the challenge. Now did Konate get a nibble of Tell, who's gone down? VAR will have a look at it.
Must have a look at that. I mean, if he doesn't get any of the ball there, that's a penalty kick, and it absolutely should be a penalty kick if he doesn't get any of the ball. He's slowing it down, he sees an injury on the pitch here, so he's given himself a little bit of breathing space here, the referee, hasn't he? Stopped the game. Injury on the far side there, and there's no acting going on there. That was an injury. But was it Konate? I think it was Konate.
Yes,
did he get any of the ball?
He's also down as well, Pat, Konate.
So let's have him get any of the ball. And if there was contact, who initiates the contact? Do you know what? It doesn't look great for Konate. We've got the right angle here. Let's have a look at it. Konate goes for it, gets a bit of the ball first. I think he's okay. I think he's going. I was going to say he gets away with it, but he doesn't get a lot of the ball clean. He catches it with his shin. Yeah. That's probably enough.
As the cross comes in from the right-hand side from Johnson, Konate is attacking it with Tell coming in from behind him. And Konate goes to ground and is trying to sweep the ball away, and probably does just get enough before catches Tell.
I would say confidently normally that's not a penalty kick. There's so many times this season where I've thought something's confidently something and the referee's disagreed, but no chance that should be a penalty kick.
Tell is back on his feet, Konate is hobbling.
Good move though, wasn't it? It was a great move. One of the best moments that Spurs have had in this period. I mean, just before half-time, had they managed to get it back to 3-2, yeah, that would have changed the atmosphere. Well, more than a little.
But also, I mean, not only did they take the lead, but Solanke has also had a looping header tipped over by Alisson.
I think Alisson was in control of that. On this occasion, I don't think Liverpool were completely in control of the situation.
Robertson forward for Liverpool. His low cross into the penalty area. Archie Gray couldn't get there. And then coming out with the ball was Udogie to Spence under pressure because of Liverpool pressing. And Robertson almost got there. Now Udogie has actually stayed forward on this near side, the right. And McAllister comes across and stops him in his tracks. With a committed sliding challenge out for a throw, Liverpool lead 3-1.
He's having one of them days, isn't he, McAllister? He's absolutely having one of those days. Every tackle has been nailed. He's timed it brilliantly. Scott's an absolute worldie as well. He is flying out there in the middle of that park. He's had a lot of good games this season, but I mean, he's right up there for possible man of the match this early on.
Spence to Johnson. On the stretch was great. Triangular passing movements from the Tottenham players on this near side, the right, in front of the main stand. And Gray passes the ball back towards Danso, who will come forward. He instructs somebody to go into the midfield ahead of him. In the end, it goes back towards Ben Davies, out towards Maddison. Udogie is gone in field, so he passes the ball towards Tell, who runs forward on that left towards the byline and sends over a cross. And it's stopped there by Alisson as we are into 4 minutes of added on time here at Anfield, where Liverpool fell behind, but they're on course for a record-equaling 20th title as they now lead 3-1.
Yeah, it's just not to forget that the last couple of minutes Spurs have looked a little bit dangerous. They've got down the right-hand side and the left-hand side, got crosses from the byline, so you know they've not given up in this at all yet. The problem that they've got is, well, a number of problems. One of them is you're 2 goals behind. Number 2 problem, which is a quite big problem. You're playing in the Cup if you're Liverpool in the second half, and they quite enjoy that. So it is the proverbial mountain to climb for Spurs, but they'll try.
And not only that, Pat, but Liverpool have scored more goals in the second half this season than any other side. They've scored 42 of their 75 goals after half-time. Rather ominous statistic, one would suggest, as Gakpo's curling ball is caught by Vicario in the sunshine, and then he rolls it out underarm towards Udogie over on that far side. Earlier in the Premier League, Bournemouth 1, Manchester United 1. Manchester United, like Spurs, will focus on that Europa League semi-final on Thursday night. We'll be live in Bilbao. 48 hours before that, we'll be live in North London for Arsenal against Paris Saint-Germain, which should be a mouth-watering contest in the Champions League. But this is the Premier League. We're in first half stoppage time. 3-1 Liverpool.
Just as you were chatting there, McAllister's made a tackle, inverted commas, on Maddison there, and it's one of those ones where he goes in, and if he doesn't get the ball, the player's going to be, well, he's going to feel it. He's going to remember it. It's not costing my yellow card there, but it's one of those ones that a defensive midfielder loves to put in there, just to put, as they say, a marker on the game.
Well, Maddison stands alone over the free kick. Liverpool have got a line of red on the edge of the penalty area in front of the Kop. Ball goes out to Udogie, plays it back inside to Maddison. Maddison then feeds it to the feet of Udogie, who can run into the penalty area with a cutback. This is Tell, gets the shot away, flick away by Van Dijk to clear it. Bergvall runs forward, left-hand side of the area, rolls down his chest, runs into trouble with Szoboszlai, but he shows his strength. Bergvall chips over the cross, nobody there to meet it. Runs out of play for a goal kick. Liverpool lead 3-1 in stoppage time.
Yeah, but well done Spurs again. Third time in just a few minutes, they've got to the byline, got dangerous crosses in. So they haven't given up, they're not folded. I mean, you said after the third goal, you know, you don't want an absolute hammering of your Spurs with this massive game coming up. But it's not looked like that since then. You know, it's not that Liverpool have taken the foot off the gas, it's the fact that Spurs haven't given up. They've kept on going. Having said that, the 3-1 down, as we were watching there, Daniel Levy was looking pensive, shall we say.
Well, it does look increasingly likely that there will be a parting of the ways come the end of the season with Ange Postecoglou. 2 years that he's had in charge, and yet he could. It was Wanda Ramos who was the last Tottenham manager to win some silverware back in 2008. And Postecoglou could yet depart on a high. Indeed, if that does occur in a few weeks' time. The 3-1 down here as Gravenberg almost overruns it, gets away from Tell, but then is stopped by Udogie, passes the ball inside towards Maddison, runs into a cul-de-sac of red shirts, and it's cleared away by Trent Alexander-Arnold. You know, that is one area where Liverpool have made that tweak from Arne Slot. They have tightened up defensively.
And that central defensive midfield area, going on there about McAllister, well, he was slightly out of position. Gravenberg went and absolutely nailed Maddison again there. He thought he had a little bit of a gap, a little bit of space to run into. Wasn't. Make sure you do the right things all the way to the whistle, and they've done just that.
The half-time whistle sounds, and Liverpool are 45 minutes away for confirmation of the news that we all know is going to happen. They are going to win the title because they fell behind to a Solanke header that gave Spurs the lead after 12 minutes. It lasted all of 4 minutes before DIOS, after a VAR check, had equalised. They then had a goal disallowed. McAllister with a fine effort after 24 minutes, and then Gakpo added a third some 10 minutes later. So half-time at Anfield. Liverpool 3, Tottenham Hotspur 1.
And let's go straight to Wembley Stadium, where the half-time whistle has gone in the FA Cup semi-final. John Southall.
Where, Steve, it is Nottingham Forest 0, Manchester City 1. A really impressive first half from Man City. They have been so dominant, 76% possession, and that does not lie, but just the one goal inside the first 2 minutes. Rico Lewis given too much time and space in the D, and he finished into the bottom left-hand corner. Mamouche struck one over the bar from 30 yards, and Nico O'Reilly had a shot wide from a similar distance. Forest yet to have a shot. Big job for their manager Nuno at half-time. Forest 0, Manchester City 1.
Thank you very much, John. We'll be back with John Murray and Clinton Morrison at Wembley before second half commentary here at Anfield. Remember, 5 Sports Extra for Nottingham Forest, Manchester City in the FA Cup semi-final here on 5 Live. Liverpool leading Tottenham Hotspur at half-time in a game, remember, which they only need to draw to secure the title, but they are 3-1 up, having gone 1-0 down. Didn't we just say, Pat Nevin, that it isn't always straightforward, albeit it's starting to look it now?
Yeah, I mean, they got the goal down and a question is being asked. That question has been asked a lot of Liverpool this season. They have generally had a very good answer to it, which is go and score more goals, and have done it really well. I mean, on the right hand side there was periods of time there, when he fancied it, Salah looked unstoppable there, and of course it led to the opening goal, which kind of opened the floodgates. But I've been so impressed with the work rate, the closing down. It's one of the strange things to say about football. So when you see a team are horrible to play against, it's one of the biggest compliments you can give them.
Yeah.
It is a big compliment. And you look at McAllister and you look at Gravenberch and you think, oh, they'd be horrible, because they can play, they know how to hold the ball, they're hard, they work hard, they cover constantly. Those two have been staggeringly impressive today as a duo. It's quite often you buy players. I mean, obviously Szoboszlai is great as well, and Gakpo's helping in there when he needs to. But when you've got two players who seem to know each other and work off each other, and will understand each other's game as well as not looking after themselves, that shows wisdom and game knowledge and game management. So I'm impressed with lots and lots of things about Liverpool today, but them two, they've been pretty special.
We're on air until 7 o'clock from here inside Anfield, so after the full-time whistle, assuming Liverpool go on and do it, we'll have lots of time to break it all down, to pay tribute to all of the key players and the manager and all of that kind of thing. But just for now, I do want to pick up again on McAllister, because he can be the feather when he needs to be the feather, and he's the anvil when he needs to be the anvil.
There's just not that many players that have got that, the entirety of it. I mean, I have to say Declan Rice can do all the things you need to do, and he's probably got certain things that maybe even McAllister hasn't got, the loping strike going forward, maybe a wee bit more dangerous sometimes going that way. But it's to take nothing away from the fact that there's not that many players. A lot of players are very specialist these days. But you almost think, yeah, I'll play you anywhere, mate, you'll be fine. It's one of the great things over the years that Liverpool have had that, when they've had great sides, they've had certain players. I was downstairs with Ronnie Whelan before, he could do that sort of stuff all the time. You'd have certain players where it doesn't matter where he play, but when you play him in his right position, he is very, very special, and he controls games, and he hurts people soonest back in those days. Well, no, there are a great number of them. I want to mention these names because they were that good that it's good to be mentioned in their company. Yeah. McAllister's there. Absolutely he's there. Not he will be there. He is there now. And today just underlines it. But if anyone deserved a goal, to be the goal that really turned it today, it had to be McAllister, and it was a cracker. And just come back to what I said before the game, you want it to be stylish, you want it to be a good game, you want to get a game you win, you want to score goals. And if you, the absolute cherry on the top of it is, and some crackers as well.
Yeah.
And you've got that.
It's one of those things here inside Anfield where one absolutely spectacular goal, plenty of good goals, one brilliant one from McAllister. It's the kind of moment that you just know somewhere, someday, some Liverpool fan is going to write a song about it. On the way into Anfield, I could hear the Liverpool supporters singing Divock Origi's song to the tune of Saturday Night by Wakefield. I can't say the second line of that song, but it was about that amazing night here against Barcelona all those years ago. There's a rainbow which is just appearing amidst the water from the sprinklers as it just cascades down onto the turf here at Anfield. Glorious first half for Liverpool, leading 3-1, only needing a point. Remember, Chelsea have been knocked out of the Women's Champions League today. They were beaten at Stamford Bridge by Barcelona 4-1 to 8-2 on aggregate. The second semi-final is well underway. Arsenal at Lyon. Last we heard, Arsenal had levelled it up on aggregate. Victoria Polly.
They have indeed. It's Lyon 0, Arsenal 1. Arsenal starting how they meaning to go on, scoring in the first 5 minutes. It was a corner that came in, not dealt with by the Lyon defence, and ended up going in off the Lyon keeper, Christian Endler. And it's very much been a tale of the two goalkeepers, because at the other end, Daphne van Damselaar, returning in goal for Arsenal, came to claim a ball, didn't get there, and Lyon almost equalised through captain Wendy Reynard, but she fired over. It's Lyon 0, Arsenal 1. We're over halfway through the first half. It's 2-2 on aggregate.
Oh, we're at some glorious sporting arenas today. Beautiful day inside Anfield. We're at Wembley Stadium, and it doesn't get much better than the Crucible either, the World Snooker Championship. Jamie Broughton's there.
No, fantastic venue, Steve, and Ronnie O'Sullivan is closing in on a place in the quarterfinals. The 7-time champion leads China's Pang Jung-Chu by 12 frames to 4 after the second session of play in their second round match, with 13 the target for victory. O'Sullivan knocked in breaks of 79, 80, 105, 135 and 62 this afternoon. Meanwhile, Luca Bracel is also close to booking his place in the last 8. The 2023 champion finished 12-4 up against Ding Junhui. Both of those matches will be played to a finish tomorrow night.
Reminder, it finished Bournemouth 1, Manchester United 1 in the Premier League earlier today. Second half commentary from here at Anfield on 5 Live and from Wembley Stadium on 5 Sports Extra for the FA Cup semi-final. Both come after the news with Dan Maudsley.
The voice of the UK. This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
The Canadian Prime Minister has said a suspect who rammed a car into crowds at a street festival in Vancouver yesterday is believed to have acted alone. 9 people were killed and 20 others injured in what Mark Carney described as an horrific attack 2 days before tomorrow's federal election there. Police don't believe it's terrorism related. Mr. Carney said he was heartbroken.
And to them and to the many others who were injured.
A goal from Mohamed Salah. That's what we needed. We need a Salah goal. Where am I from? I'm from down near Portsmouth. I think we should personally sell Mo Salah. He's been useless for the last 5. Surely that's rage bait.
I did. With you.
There's no way you believe that. No way. Salah's unreal. You know, he's an incredible... Yeah, I'm joking. Yeah, I'm glad you are. I'm glad you're joking. Harrison, my dad supports Liverpool, so I'm a Liverpool fan. Yeah, you can laugh all you want. Manchester United have 0 Premier League, 0 Champions League, 0 FA Cup, 0 Carabao Cups. Do you mean this season, Jim? Spurs come back. I'm a United fan. That's the reason why then. 20 times. Yeah. You're an Everton fan. Up the Toffees. Right, okay. I see how...
Captured parts of Kursk in a surprise offensive last year. The top American diplomat, Marco Rubio, has told US television that the two sides are closer than ever to a ceasefire deal.
The Champions League on BBC Radio 5 Live.
Here is the final whistle, and Arsenal, in some style, have reached the Champions League semi-finals.
On Tuesday at 8, Arsenal versus PSG.
Kvaratskhelia turns on the penalty area, shoots and scores! Oh! Right, baby!
And hear all the analysis and reaction on the Football Daily podcast.
The Champions League. Listen live. Ask your smart speaker to play BBC Radio 5 Live. This is 5 Live Sport with Steve Crossman. Listen on BBC Sounds.
Well, I think we can more or less safely say that Liverpool's Premier League winning party is less than an hour away. How close are we to knowing who's going to be meeting Crystal Palace, though, in the FA Cup final? John Murray.
Well, half-time here at Wembley. It is Nottingham Forest 0, Manchester City 1. Manchester City scored the early goal. Very good finish from Rico Lewis in the D on the edge of the area. Low shot pass Sells into the bottom corner, and that was only in the second minute, and City then proceeded to absolutely dominate the match without, I should say, coming close to a second goal. There has only been one attempt on target in the match, the Lewis goal, and Nottingham Forest have offered nothing. They've seen so little of the ball, and when they have had it, they've done nothing with it. So, Clinton Morrison, something's got to change from Forest, from Nuno.
It has to change, and I've been screaming for it, and it looks like he might be coming on Alanga. I just look at Man City's high back line. I'm thinking they don't have enough runners who can go in behind. He's one of the quickest in the Premier League. He needed to change it because you were right. They were powder puff. They didn't get in behind Man City at all. And Man City, as you said, dominated possession without actually working cells that much.
And Forest have been neither nothing nor something, have they?
Yeah, it's been half-hearted, hasn't it? You're like, we're there, but we're not really pressing. We're letting Kovacic and Bernardo Silva, who people says legs have gone, dominate. Go move up the field 10 yards further up the field and go and press Man City and go and cause them problems.
But it couldn't be any more obvious that Elanga is coming on for the second half, because he came out to warm up in his match shirt. He's now taken off his tracksuit bottoms. He is ready. He's got his kit on. It's his 23rd birthday today, and he's ready to go.
Yeah, and he's been brilliant this season. And he gives, you ask any defenders, they don't like playing against pace, and he's one of the quickest around. So, yeah, Forest are hoping, and the fans and the players, his teammates, hoping he could get a birthday goal, because it'll be fitting for him. I think he's had an outstanding season for them.
Yeah, and my goodness, they do need something, Nottingham Forest, because if it continues as it was in the first half, Manchester City will score a second goal, they'll win this semi-final, and it will be Crystal Palace against Manchester City here in 3 weekends' time. However, at half-time, it is Nottingham Forest 0, Manchester City 1, so it's not over yet.
John, Clinton, thank you both very much indeed. Second half commentary on 5 Sports Extra. 6:06 starts at 7 o'clock tonight. 08085 909 693. Premier League winner Chris Sutton, big part of the team, of course. Afternoon, Chris.
Hello, Steve. Yeah, not easy winning a Premier League, Steve.
No, well, Liverpool have made it look like that, haven't they?
Yeah, no, they have. I mean, yeah, that's the headline of today. It'll be party time. Tottenham will not come back into this game. We can't see it, and they have made it look pretty routine, Steve, haven't they? This season, they've blown everybody away. Arne Slot's first season, and I suppose that the question is, celebrate this season. What's been special about it? But can they carry on under Arne Slot and dominate?
Do you think they can?
Oh, it's difficult because we expect Manchester City to respond. I mean, I'm on with Roman Kemp tonight. I know he likes his Arsenal. He's an Arsenal fan, and everybody thought this would be the season for Arsenal, and they've fallen away. But of course, they've got the Champions League, haven't they? Which will, if they win that, all will be forgiven with the Premier League. But the signing of getting the Salah deal done, Van Dijk deal done, they're in a pretty good place, and Liverpool fans must be absolutely delighted with this season, but also looking forward.
08085 909 693. Cheers, Chris. Have a good one.
Thanks, Steve.
Chris Sutton, Roman Kemp, 6:06, 7 o'clock tonight. We're live from inside Anfield. Ian Dennis and Pat Nevin are here. Liverpool substitutes just warming up beneath us. I have to say, Pat, I've seen quite a lot of Liverpool live lately, and this is the best I can remember them, probably since just before the first leg of the PSG Champions League tie. And I know they won that first leg, but not at their best. I've not seen this Liverpool for quite a while.
Do you know, but every team, I've talked recently, a lot of fans from a lot of different clubs, and every team will go through a dip. Go through a dip and don't lose many games. That's the trick, You might not be playing that brilliantly. You might lose the odd game or draw the odd game here and there. It just happens. You can't be at it for that amount of games for an entirety of a season. So that's what they've done. But you're right. They are the best. They have the best version of Liverpool right at this second. And I think it's because they know how to do it. They know how to time it. Salah knew when it was time to turn it on. He's turned it on. He knew at the start of this game you needed it back. You're 1-0 down. He's turned it on. The very, very best players have got gears, and they went through a few today so far, haven't they? And now that they've got 3-1 up, they can maybe cruise a wee bit. I just don't think they will.
The Liverpool players have just finished their pre-second half warm-up. Almost looked like they were dancing. They'll be doing that in 45 minutes' time by the looks of it. Anfield is absolutely ready for a Premier League winning party. We'll be on air until 7 o'clock, drinking in every moment with Liverpool supporters. They've still got a job to do, but it's certainly half done. Ian.
Certainly is, thank you, Steve. And I would imagine that Arne Slot, such is his focus in the build-up to the game, he hasn't been carried away by any of the emotion. He'll be saying to his players, you keep that laser focus for this second half. Go and finish the job, because you're halfway there as the match restarts. And Tottenham Hotspur have made 2 changes. Pavasar replaces Archie Gray in the midfield, and Kulusevski comes on for Maddison. So Spurs have Vicario in goal, a back 4 of Spence, Davis, Danso and Udogie. Kulusevski, Sarr, Bergvall, Tell, Solanke and Johnson. Liverpool Spurs, incidentally, in all their light blue. They're playing from right to left as we look now. So they're defending the Kop end. They're attacking the Anfield Road end. Whereas Liverpool, all in red. Alisson in goal, Alexander-Arnold, Van Dijk, Konate, Robertson, McAllister, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, and then Salah, Diaz and Cody Gakpo. As Danso plays the ball forward towards Kulusevski, who gets it away to Johnson. Flag stays down, Johnson will run forward, and it goes off the legs of Van Dijk, and it's a late flag, so it'll be a free kick, and Liverpool still lead by 3-1. Back to Wembley in that FA Cup semi-final. John Southall.
Forest 0, Man City 1, but what a chance for Forest in the opening minutes of the second half. Hudson-Odoi down the left-hand side, and there was Elanga on as a sub on his birthday, made the run 8 yards out, and somehow put it wide. Forest 0, Man City 1.
Talking of Forest, Liverpool have dropped 5 points in 2 games against Nottingham Forest. Before today, they'd dropped 15 points in the other 31 games.
It's extraordinary. I mean, some teams are your bogey teams. Losing the game here, wasn't it? Which was extraordinary. But just looking at the changes that Spurs have made at the moment, they've made 2 changes in the midfield. That comes as no shock, considering how well the midfield for Liverpool has been playing with Gravenberch and McAllister we were talking about.
Pat Nevin is with us here on the World Service, as well as 5 Live and the BBC Sounds Out, where Liverpool are leading by 3-1. The sun still beating down on at least a third of the pitch here at Anfield, as Konate in the shadows of the main stand towards Salah. Szoboszlai fouled. Mo Salah actually has scored 11 league goals against Tottenham Hotspur. It is the most of any player in this fixture. He will be desperate to get on the score sheet.
It's possibly the most surprising thing of the afternoon so far, that he hasn't had that goal that he usually gets, but we've got plenty of time yet. That's what he'll be thinking.
If he doesn't score today, it'll be 7 without a goal for Mo Salah, which will be almost 3 years of his longest goal drought for Liverpool. Although we mentioned earlier about Liverpool's tendency to score goals in the second half. 20 of his 27 in the Premier League. He is of course on course for the Golden Boot, have come in the second half this season. Szoboszlai off the chest, tries to swivel and volley the ball forward. Udogie heads it away as he runs back to the edge of his penalty area. Solanke up against Gravenberch. Gravenberch too strong for him. Comes forward with the ball, runs away from Bergvall, feeds it towards Robertson, drills it in low. Blocked by Spence, out for a Liverpool throw in front of that Sekeni Dalglish stand on the far side. 3.5 minutes into the second half, 3-1 Liverpool.
And again, it's that duo again. Gravenberch right beside McAllister. When Solanke was trying to hold on to the ball, no chance. You ain't getting it, you ain't keeping it. We're going to break. They've been very, very good at kind of getting close, not giving anybody a chance to get on the ball and break and hold it up. They've been brilliant at it.
Konate to Alexander-Arnold. Back with Konate in the centre circle. Van Dijk on the halfway line, passes the ball forward towards McAllister. His diagonal ball goes out far side the left, and Gakpo comes in now off that left touchline, left corner of the area. Gakpo still runs in field. He tees up McAllister. McAllister takes a couple of steps back towards Gakpo, and unselfishly he looked for Salah. He could easily have gone for goal, but they tried to put it on a plate for Salah, and the opportunity went missing.
You know, I called one of the earlier moves sumptuous. I'm going beautiful for that one. It was absolutely lovely. 1-2s. I mean, classic training ground goal, we would call that. I wonder if there was a possibility of offside. No, it wasn't. 1-2, beautifully done. Actually, more than 1-1-2. I'm amazed he didn't go for goal. You're absolutely right. But it would have been the perfect goal had that final pass been made.
And when you hear a commentator or reporter saying they walked it into the net, that was almost it, wasn't it? The way that they just cut open the Spurs defence.
The epitome of it, the absolute epitome of it. And if you're playing against that, okay, so Liverpool didn't score, but it is a horrible feeling because they didn't panic. It was McAllister got the ball in the 18-yard line, and instead of smashing it, he believed he could do that, and they almost did.
Choice of listening this afternoon here on 5 Live. Liverpool leading Spurs by 3-1. As Szoboszlai out towards Salah. Salah runs forward onto his left foot, charged down And on Sports Extra, it was Nottingham Forest 0, Manchester City 1, but there's been another goal. John Southall.
Big moment here, Nottingham Forest 0, Manchester City 2, corner on the left-hand side, and there was Josko Gvardiol 6 yards out to power the head in. Header in, long way back now for Forest. Forest 0, Manchester City 2.
Crystal Palace await the winners in the final of the FA Cup on May the 17th. Arne Slot's name is being chanted by the Liverpool supporters. When they last won the title in front of supporters some 35 years ago, the attendance was just under 38,000. Anfield has been redeveloped since. We got that two-tiered stand away at the Anfield Road end, away towards our left-hand side. The old Kemlyn Road is now the Sir Kenny Dalglish stand. It's increased considerably here at Anfield, and every single one of them who has been privileged enough to be inside this ground for this special, significant moment in Liverpool's illustrious history is going to enjoy every second in the second half as a low cross comes in and it goes behind for a corner kick. Pat Nevin.
Yep, and it's one of those moments. The psychology of the Kop is now working. You just look at that Spurs team. They're falling further and further back, being dragged back by the history of what the Kop does and what it does to the Liverpool players themselves. They just grow in the second half. They own the pitch. And at the moment, Spurs aren't getting a sniff. They're not getting anywhere near it out of their own half. It's as if there's a 10-foot slope from one side to the other.
Liverpool have only lost one in their last 30 league games against Tottenham Hotspur, and they're in no position to surrender the comfortable position that they find themselves in here this afternoon on BBC Radio 5 Live. As our referee Thomas Bramall just has a wander across into the technical area. I think that's Sarr and Luis Diaz who are getting very tight. The corner on the left is taken short. Szoboszlai then with a cross at the far post. It's headed behind by a backpedaling Kevin Danso. It's another corner kick, but on this near side the right, in front of those expectant Liverpool supporters, so many of them decked out in red.
One of the great things about Liverpool, it's a very simple corner. It's a short corner there, just out to a player who's maybe 15 yards out there, but it's the quality of ball you generally get in, and it doesn't really matter who it is. If it's Salah, if it's Robertson, that time it's Szoboszlai, McAllister's going to do it. The quality of the crosses in have been superb.
McAllister's name is the latest to be chanted. They're going through the full repertoire, or at least they will do in this second half. Corner kick to Liverpool, McAllister to take it right-footed. It's an outswinger. Konate was up, might fall to Van Dijk. Hooked away by Danso. Looping ball, high, drops. Tell tussles with Szoboszlai, who squeaks the ball out towards McAllister. Salah wants it. McAllister shoots, takes a deflection, should go out for a corner. Indeed it is. Liverpool piling on the pressure. 3-1.
Well, I'm going to say it because you have to. You should have put in Mo Salah there, shouldn't you have? He's shot there. Salah's on his outside there. He's got nobody with him. Now, Salah will be in an angle there, but he's in a better shooting position, and he's Mo Salah. Makes a big difference there. Give it to Mo Salah in that position there. You're talking an almost certain goal, so let's be fair about it. I think that's a McAllister mistake.
A fellow Scot in Andy Robertson. We actually discussed this at half-time. Yeah. The luxury of the position that Liverpool find themselves in. Every supporter inside Anfield will just be able to soak up this and enjoy the experience as we wait for the corner to come in from the left. And it comes now from McAllister, and Vicario claims it.
Yeah, every single player will get his chant, but every single song that they can think of will get this opportunity as well. So I think it will be enjoyed. And as it gets towards the end of the game, if Liverpool can stay at least 2 goals clear, the crescendo will just build and build and build until the end.
Vicario almost caught in possession inside his 6-yard area. As the ball goes up towards Solanke, comes straight back though. Gravenberch looks for a free kick. Bergvall, was he fouled? The referee will say yes, it'll be a Tottenham Hotspur free kick deep inside their own half. 10 minutes into the second half. Manchester City are leading Nottingham Forest 2-0 on Sports Extra. Earlier Bournemouth 1, Manchester United 1 is how it finished in the Premier League. In the Women's Champions League semi-final second leg, Arsenal lead Lyon by a 0-0. Spurs have given the ball away cheaply. Here is Salah to Szoboszlai, and then running back with Udogie just to break it up inside the penalty area. And then they'll get... No, kept in play by Diaz on the far side, didn't go out of play. Spurs need to be better in possession than that.
It's getting very Ange ball at the moment. They're still really open. When they get the ball, they're trying to play it out from the back. The problem is they're vicious in the midfield. They're winning it back constantly, Liverpool. They're just that little bit sharper, better, quicker, better tacklers, reading the game too well. It is a nightmare to play against just now if you're Spurs.
Well, they've never looked like relinquishing the healthy lead that they've had for so many weeks now. Remember, they went top of the Premier League on November the 2nd. So what's that, 177 days since? They are not going to relinquish a 2-goal lead here against Spurs. I'd be very surprised if they did.
I mean, football's wild. Strange things have happened. I've seen it, you know, if Spurs could get a goal, they need to go over the halfway line to get a goal, which they've not done very much, if at all, in this second half so far. But it's so hard to see anyway that's going to happen by how well Liverpool are playing at the moment.
Virgil van Dijk, who's played the most minutes in the Premier League than any other Liverpool player, 2,970. Alisson, who had that spell on the sidelines through injury in the first half of the season. Robertson goes downfield, cut out there off the chest by Spence. A rare foray into the Liverpool half for Tottenham. But then coming back is Gravenberch. No, it was on that far side, Gakpo. Here is Gravenberch. Now his ball towards Szoboszlai, and Szoboszlai's got room to run into, and he feeds the ball to the feet of Salah, and Salah runs into the penalty area, cuts into his left foot, and Salah's shot takes a deflection, corner kick. 3-1 Liverpool, corner on the right hand side.
You almost don't have to commentate in Salah when he goes down the right wing there, do you? He cuts into the right hand side, he's across that 18-yard line. You know he's trying to get half a yard from him for the ball. Just before that, the ball was won deep in midfield, and it's Gravenberch. He threw a dummy in the midfield there. He was almost missed, but two players went flying, and it was just a little snake hit moment there, and it opened up the entirety of the play. It's easy to do when you're 3-1 up, or easier to do it, but it was a classy break.
Andy Robertson takes 2 large strides back to deliver the corner kick on this near side to right. Liverpool lead by 3-1. Left-footed by Robertson. Konate's up. Van Dijk tries to get on the end of it. McAllister has a volley. Peels for handball. Comes to the right-hand side of the area. Falls to Salah. He tees up Alexander-Arnold. Alexander-Arnold shapes to shoot. More handball penalties. Salah goes to ground. Ball scrambled away by Davis. There must have been about 3 penalty shouts there for Liverpool, and then at the end of that, the referee gives a free kick to Spurs for a foul on Tell.
Well, they'll have a look at each of them. The referee's telling everyone to calm down. Now, the first one would have been a bit harsh because it smashed into the Tottenham defender there from no distance at all, and his arms were in. That's not a penalty kick. The Salah one, once again, I think that would be a bit soft in front of the cop. I'd be surprised if any of these are given. Let's have another look at it.
The one was McAllister, wasn't it? Struck the chest of Dancer.
Yeah, maybe even the shoulder, but his arms are down by his side, so not a problem at all. And the other one for the free kick, which I'm absolutely convinced wasn't the one as well. Udogie made no attempt to tackle.
There's been another goal in Lyon in that Women's Champions League semi-final. Victoria Polly.
It's Lyon 0, Arsenal 2 in injury time at the end of the first half. Arsenal scoring a beautiful curling effort from the edge of the area from Mariona Caldente means that they go ahead in this Champions League semi-final. It's Lyon 0, Arsenal 2, 3-2 on aggregate.
3-2 on aggregate with the right to meet Barcelona in the final. Arsenal's men will be hoping for success against French opposition in midweek. Commentary on Tuesday night from the Emirates. Arsenal against Paris Saint-Germain. Danso steps forward, Danso shoots, and right-footed. What was he, less than 25 yards out, dragged it off target, goal kick, still 3-1 Liverpool. We've been playing for an hour.
Yeah, and that's what Spurs have to do if they're going to get back into this game. Problem is, when you play under Ange's style, you want your full-backs to fly forward, Udogie and Spence. Now and again, fly forward, create some problems there. They've hardly over the halfway line, have they? They've not got any good positions. It's because they're playing against good players, and they've just not got good position to be able to do that. It's very, very hard to create that. Oh, bit of a mistake by Nelson.
Vicario under pressure from Diaz, almost let in the Colombian, and then hurriedly he had to clear it out of play for a throw, but they've taken the throw whilst there are 2 balls on the pitch. I think the initial one from Vicario bounced back off the advertising hoardings, and therefore there's a stoppage, and that throw will have to be retaken.
Bit of a shame that. That's exactly the right thing to do in that situation. Take it very, very quickly. Spurs weren't quite ready yet. They've got themselves set against, but once again, good control there from that midfield from Van Dijk. I'm just watching Van Dijk just now. I haven't mentioned today much. Do you think he's broken sweat yet? I doubt it.
Van Dijk, I think it says a great deal that he and Mo Salah have signed contracts. It's a sign that they believe that Liverpool will be able to challenge under Arne Slot for seasons to come. As Salah passes the ball, but Danso clears the ball away. They're going to be the 7th team in Premier League history to secure the title with 4 or more games remaining, and they are not letting up. They're still coming forward. Gakpo over on that left-hand side, and this is going to be Gravenberch who's going to shoot, and Vicario makes the save low to his right. That might have been an awkward one. It might have taken a deflection on its way through. He saved with the second attempt.
Yeah, I mean, a decent shot. It's from real distance there, but it shows you the hunger for all those Liverpool players. When the keeper patted it out, only went a yard. 3 nearest players to them, all wearing red. Chasing it in Diaz, chasing it in Salah, chasing it in Gakpo, chasing it, anything that's going to come off. These are not players that are kind of cruising along here. These are players that want to absolutely put this to bed, and would also quite like a goal.
Alexander-Arnold tried the back heel towards Salah, stopped by Udogie. The quirk about Liverpool's last title success 5 years ago, when Manchester City lost to Chelsea, it was the 25th of June, Liverpool won the title the earliest with 7 games left, but it was also later than any other team in terms of the date. Because of COVID, it was pushed back to the summer. Talking of Manchester City, let's get an update from Wembley. John Southall.
They lead Nottingham Forest by 2 goals to nil. It's all City at the moment. Could have been 3. Savigno on the left of the area, pushed over the crossbar by Sells. They have a corner here now. As we said before, it looks a long way back for Forest. Will they make changes? Surely they'll have to. Forest 0, Man City 2.
Commentary on Sports Extra. Kulusevski forward for Spurs. Just as he tried to shoot, just taken away from him. And McAllister now to Szoboszlai. And there's a break on for Liverpool. Szoboszlai has got Diaz to his left. He's got Salah to his right. He goes with the Egyptian. Salah onto his left boot. Salah shoots! And Salah scores! The Egyptian king with the crowning moment for the new champions of England. And that is the 200th goal for Mo Salah off that trusty left foot. He ends his goal drought, and Liverpool now lead Spurs by 4 goals to 1.
Well, I said beforehand, the only surprising thing is that Mo Salah hasn't scored a goal yet. And if you could draw a picture of Mo Salah's goals, you'd draw that one, wouldn't you? He just gets the ball on the right hand side, he cuts across the 18-yard line, and he can put it back post or near post, it doesn't really matter to him. On this occasion, near post, and he's gone down and done a little selfie right in front of the court. Brilliant.
Well, he's just made one supporter's dream come true. Taken a mobile phone, taken a selfie in front of the Kop. He now takes the acclaim, and Liverpool are coasting to this record equaling 20th top flight title.
I mean, look, you hear them singing it in the right. There's not any doubt now they're going to win the league. I mean, technically what happened in that goal, if it's of any interest at all, Spence finally went forward on the right-hand side because Kulusevski dragged him forward. And by doing that, he's taking any control that they have of that defensive situation. When there's a weakness at all and there's a gap at all, Liverpool make good use of it.
Kulusevski at the other end, meanwhile. Liverpool lead by 4 goals to 1. 64 minutes played. BBC Radio 5 Live in the World Service. Gravenberch can't control the ball. Sarr shoots. Alisson makes a save. Back to Wembley, John Southall.
It's still Forest 0, Manchester City 2, but what a goal this would have been. Morgan Gibbs-White on the right of the area, 14 yards out, on his left foot, on the volley, crashed against the bar. Forest 0, Man City 2.
Commentary on Sports Extra. Odegaard's going to be coming on. Patel. Richarlison is also going to be coming on. I think it was written in the stars that Mo Salah, with his 12th league goal against Tottenham Hotspur, would end his goal drought here today. 1 goal in 9. Wilson, Odegaard and Richarlison waiting to come on. Solanke and Tell will be the 2 players that will make way.
It's just a shame that Spurs could break a little, have a half a chance there, but there's not, enough understanding between the players and telling that time to stop his run. You can't stop your run there. The ball's in the middle. Sarr's on the ball. Keep on making the run. If it doesn't get delivered, it's not your problem. It's the deliverer's problem. But there's just not been enough understanding with those Spurs players so far in this game.
Well, for Tottenham Hotspur, they've got to try and turn their attentions. They'll have to dust themselves off. They did make the 8 changes going into that game against Bodo Glimt. You'd have to feel as well. Oh, ball given away. Gakpo's nipped in. Gakpo might fall towards Salah. Salah takes over, feeds it towards Szoboszlai, beaten out by Vicario. Spurs have got to be so careful. They do not want to be going into that game on the back of the hiding.
Yeah, and they can smell it now, can't they, Liverpool? They absolutely can smell it. They're falling apart a little bit at the back. They're getting caught out. They're getting caught in the ball in the midfield just now. It's 4. They need to calm it down a little bit. Hold the ball if they can. They've just not been able to do that at any point in the second half.
Salah trying to dance his way through to the penalty area. There's a real strong smell of sulphur in our commentary position on this day of celebration for Liverpool. 4-1 they lead. Van Dijk urged to shoot, obliges, fires it wide, good 30 yards out, right-footed off target, goal kick, Liverpool 4-1.
Yeah, Van Dijk shooting from there is actually oddly unusual. He should do it more, because in his earlier career he scored some brilliant goals from there. A bit of a boo here actually as Solanke goes off and Richarlison comes on. I think it might be Richarlison coming on is a problem, as opposed to Solanke coming off.
As a former Evertonian, he was never going to be awarded a warm welcome.
It is that. It's the whole thing.
His 4 goals, incidentally, against Liverpool have all come at Anfield. Liverpool are going to make changes as well. 20 is the magic number as far as Liverpool are concerned today. And Jota, sporting the number 20, is one of the players coming on. Szoboszlai comes off. Curtis Jones is another one who is going to be coming on. We'll wait to see who goes off. It is going to be Cody Gakpo. Cody Gakpo, who turns to take the plaudits from the crowd.
Yeah, he's played well, and a great reception he's got. Anyone who comes off just now will get a fabulous reception. And there's also a part of you that you want to be on at the end when it happens, when the whistle blows, when you become champions. But there's a lot of players in that squad that deserve to be on that field just now. And certainly I don't think you could argue against Jota being on there, and indeed Elliott.
Well, there are 40 medals that are handed out by the Premier League. Currently Liverpool have had 21 players who have played at least 5 appearances in the Premier League to qualify to be guaranteed a medal. Chiesa has only played 4 times in the Premier League. I wonder if we might see a sentimental touch from Arne Slot for Chiesa to come on to be guaranteed a medal. The thing is, it is at the club's discretion to hand out those other medals, so I'm sure he'll get one anyway. Alexander-Arnold falls towards Jota, breaks back towards Alexander-Arnold, prods it, goals! And on the goal line, it's Mo Salah. Liverpool are wrapping up a record-equaling 20th title in style. They now lead Spurs by 5 goals to 1.
Well, they're just sitting there hoping that it's offside. There's a possibility it might be. But it's almost apologetic the way Mo Salah, he's got a big grin on his face just now. It was so easy for him. I said a few moments ago at the fourth one, you asked at half-time that you didn't want it to fall apart. It looks really messy, really messy at this period of the game. And each time they go through, there's an ugly line at the back there that doesn't look good. And I'm looking at that there, it's very tight for offside, very tight. I couldn't tell you from the angle that we have seen it at. I've just seen another angle and I still can't tell you.
Might be the right leg of Danso that is just playing Mo Salah on.
Yeah.
And in fact, before he got there, it came off Udogie. Fireworks are being let off in the distance.
You've got to check that though, you've got to check that one, it is so tight. And if Salah didn't get a touch on it, you know. Do you still say it's offside? Because the only reason why he defended it that way is because Salah would have tapped it in had he not done so.
Udogie credited with the own goal if the goal stands at 5-1. I honestly don't think the Liverpool supporters will care. Such has been the carefree celebrations that they've been able to enjoy with the nature of the way that this game has gone. But the goal does stand. And Liverpool do lead 5-1.
I have to say, I don't think Salah thought it was going to count, and he was the nearest person to that, and a number of others didn't think so. It was very, very tight. It's 5-1. I'll tell you one thing that hasn't been tight this game. They're absolutely cruising. They played brilliantly, but in the second half they've tried to hold it together, Spurs, but this is now beginning to look quite ugly, particularly for the manager.
Well, Ange Postecoglou, we've got to say that I know what could still happen in Europe, but he's had 47 points from his last 42 league games. You say that your league form is the true barometer. To credit a lot of the Tottenham supporters, they have stayed in the away section away towards our left as Odobert comes forward. A rare chance for them to attack in this second half with 18 minutes remaining. But when you consider that their record Premier League defeat was at Newcastle in 1996 by a scoreline of 7-1, this could get messy with still 18 minutes remaining.
It could get messy, and it's partly what Liverpool want to do about it, but they've brought in players. They've brought in Curtis Jones just now. He's come on, he's just dribbling about, enjoying himself. The quality has not dropped.
A deafening cry of champions inside Anfield. It'll be Liverpool's 70th major honour. 20 titles, 29 cups, 21 Super Cups, England's most successful club. Manchester United the closest to them with 68 after this title here today for Liverpool. And they're lapping it up. As Spence shoots from a long way out, must have been 35 yards out, well off target, goal kick. Back to Wembley, John Southall.
Forest 0, Manchester City 2, should be 2-1 now. Gvardiol gave the ball away. Morgan Gibbs-White round the goalkeeper, tight angle. His shot came off the left-hand post, and if Forest lose this game, he will not forget that moment. What a chance it was. Forest 0, Manchester City 2.
Liverpool top scorers in the Premier League, taking their tally to 80, and they've scored at least 2 goals in 29 of their 34 Premier League games as they win the ball midway through their own half. And Jones now can run forward in the all-red of Liverpool, and then was barged over, and the referee will give a free kick to the home side just outside the centre circle. Pat Nevin.
Yeah, but they seem so lively, even at this part of the game. They are desperate when Spurs try and go forward a little bit. They're living for that moment when they win the ball back again, and every red shirt seems to fly forward apart from Van Dijk and Konate. Everyone wants to get in the act today. I actually think every single one of those Liverpool players out there thinks they can score a goal today. They can tie the end of the season up for themselves with a goal and enjoy these celebrations even more.
Here is Konate. There's going to be 2 more players who are going to be coming on. Wataru Endo and Harvey Elliott. It'll be Luis Diaz and Trent Alexander-Arnold who are the players who will make way with some 16 minutes remaining of normal time. It was Alexander-Arnold's goal, of course, at Leicester that put Liverpool in a position to wrap it up here today. As again, Arne Slot's name chanted vociferously by this Anfield crowd. Salah can't control that ball at around knee height, runs away from it, out for a goal kick. Pat.
What a beautiful ball that was by Trent Alexander-Arnold. And it's classy from him because we know what he can do with his right foot, but he just goes on his left foot and pings one 40 yards at a weird angle and just puts it right on Mo Salah's foot. He couldn't quite get a hold of it there, but it just shows you the quality that Trent Alexander-Arnold's got. And if he does leave, he will be missed at this place. I'll tell you something else, he'll miss this place. There's one of them missing him.
You know, it's funny, Pat is literally just to my right hand side, and yet when he talks, the noise being created by the Liverpool supporters. It's hard to hear him. Luis Diaz is coming off to a standing ovation as Elliott and Endo will come on.
Diaz has been good again today, obviously, scoring the first goal, got him back into it. I just watched him down there, Trent Alexander-Arnold, getting everybody to applaud louder. I think he's trying to soak up every second of this season, isn't he? Which makes you wonder. It does make you wonder, but he's loving it, he's enjoying it, he's reacting with the fans, and he's showing that whatever happens, he cares about this club.
Yes, very much so. And with Carlo Ancelotti, who'll won't be the Real Madrid manager next season. There's so many red balloons now are on the playing surface. There must be at least a dozen. All didn't seem well when I was in the Bernabeu the other week with Arsenal. They're going to have to try and pop those balloons that are now blowing towards the centre circle. Some of them are being waved away in the bottom tier of the Sir Kenny Dalglish stand as well. 14 minutes remaining. We're in full party mode now, Pat.
Yep, balloons and everything. Yes, you're going to love that. And there's not really been a huge amount of tension for Liverpool. The only tension is how many goals is it going to be. And since that fourth goal, they're going to stop the game now and try and get some of these balloons burst. Because they can actually put the players off a little bit. But in actual fact, the tension's gone, the enjoyment's there. Sunshine, lovely warm day. Enjoy singing some songs, and we'll get fed up singing them in about 14 hours time.
Those balloons are literally being popped. I think only for the sake of 4 minutes was Liverpool's party deflated when Solanke a long time ago gave Spurs the lead. Liverpool lead by 5 goals to 1. Another goal in Lyon, Victoria Polly.
First half for Arsenal, and they've continued that almost immediately after the restart. Alessia Russo has extended Arsenal's lead. They've overturned the deficit and they've gone further ahead in this one straight after half-time. It's now Arsenal who lead at Lyon 3-0, 4-2 on aggregate.
What an excellent scoreline that is for Arsenal as they look to try and set up a meeting with Barcelona. Liverpool have 12 minutes remaining. They're leading 5-1. Gravenberch, who's had an outstanding season, so effective. Talked before about Virgil van Dijk playing the most minutes. Gravenberch not that far behind him this season, his fellow Dutchman. 2 players who really have blossomed under their fellow countrymen in Arne Slot.
Yeah, they have. Just looking at a thing that happened on the pitch there was very funny. You always get a little bit of humour in Liverpool. They were bursting the balloons with their feet and everyone is ignoring it. And then one of the balloons that was burst was the actual trophy. The whole place booed because a Spurs player had actually burst the trophy with the balloon.
The referees stopped play. You can all remember the beach ball moment with Darren Bent at Sunderland all those years ago. One of the balloons, it's almost as if the balloons are breeding. There's more balloons than there were before. They're having to be popped now. So we've got the remnants of the pop balloons, the red of pop balloons on the playing surface. Mo Salah has picked one up and has actually just squeezed it and popped it with his hands as that deflated silver balloon, whether it was the 2 or the 0, just gently rolls its way towards the
I think it was a trophy.
Dugout.
I think that one was a trophy.
Oh, was that the trophy?
Yeah. And that's why the Liverpool fans, they were furious. How dare you stand in the trophy when we're going to win it? That's what they were saying.
Straight to Wembley, John Southall.
Forest 0, Man City 2, but Forest have had some chances in this second half. They've hit the post and the woodwork 3 times now. 1-0 with the latest. Gibbs White on the rebound. Header saved. Forest 0, Manchester City 2.
Commentary continues on Sports Extra. Match of the day tonight, incidentally, 10:30 on BBC One. Cross from Johnson on the right-hand side. Odobert couldn't get there. Endo, who's playing at right back instead of Alexander-Arnold, that goes out for a Spurs throw. We've got 10 minutes remaining here at Anfield. 5 Live, the World Service, and also available on the BBC Sounds app. And if you're a Liverpool supporter, wouldn't necessarily suggest this to any Tottenham fans, but the beauty of the BBC Sounds app is that you can go back, rewind and listen again. And the noise that has been generated inside this ground by the Liverpool supporters as they raise the volume once more is certainly that will live with many, I would imagine, for a long time.
Yeah, you must enjoy it, these occasions. As we said right at the start, at the top of the programme, It doesn't happen that often. It's even for the great clubs. It's quite often you go long periods without winning these championships, and they've won this championship. They've won it in style. They've won it early. Just as I'm saying that, they're reminding me that it's champions. But savour it. There's some clues we have watched, obviously Scottish football a lot, and Celtic won it 13 of the last 14, and even those fans don't take it for granted every single year. It's very, very special to win a league. So savour every moment if you're a Liverpool fan, either here or listening or watching.
A historic weekend in north of the border as well as in England, of course, with Celtic. A record equaling 55th top flight title yesterday. Liverpool will join Manchester United, equaling their tally of 20 here now with 9 minutes remaining. As there's a Liverpool player down on the far side who's obscured to me because of the towering presence of Van Dijk. It's McAllister.
It's McAllister. He's got so one in the face. You're going to have to do a lot to keep him down just now, aren't you? He's a hard lad, but also everybody wants to be on this pitch. With 9 minutes of normal time left to play, you'd love to be on the pitch. And someone else is going to get a chance to go on the pitch. And I was going to say, I wonder what sort of reception Darwin Núñez will get. But anyone going on a red shirt will get a good reception today.
There has been a report in Portugal that his next start could trigger a clause that would mean that they have to pay something like €5 million to Benfica, that Arne Slot just tried to dodge in his press conference coming into the game. I think it's fair to say that Darwin Núñez may well be moved on in the summer. He's only had one start since early February, but he has become a little bit of a cult figure here just because of his hard work, his desire levels, and he waits to come on. And it will be McAllister who will be going off as Liverpool prepare to make another change.
Yeah, I'm not going to attempt to try and tell you what system Liverpool are playing just now. They're just giving people a game as much as anything else. And McAllister's got a great reception here, isn't he?
A standing ovation for McAllister, a high five from his manager, and Darwin Núñez comes on as every Liverpool supporter inside Anfield stands as part of the celebrations with 7.5 minutes remaining. Still, there is a healthy number of Tottenham fans who have remained loyal to the end. They will need their supporters to play their bit. They'll need the team to play their bit on Thursday as well. You can't help but feel they're going to need some sort of a healthy lead to take to Norway with that plastic pitch for the second leg in just over 2 weeks' time, or less than 2 weeks' time, in the Europa League. That's to look forward to on 5 Live during the week. Champions League semi-final on Tuesday, Europa League on Thursday. This is the Premier League, 5 Live in the World Service. And Liverpool leading by 5 goals to 1. Konate back with Van Dijk. Van Dijk's record will be the 11th different Liverpool captain to eventually get his hands on the title. He'll be the first Dutchman to captain a team to a Premier League title, but he's only had 3 defeats in what now will be 117 Premier League home games. Leeds, Crystal Palace and Nottingham Forest. That is a very impressive record.
Yeah, it's a great record, and the stats sound great as well, but it's more than that. I mean, there is a big argument about Mo Salah between the two of them, who has been the most important player for Liverpool over a good long period now, and a real successful period. And Weirdlow might say, I think Van Dijk may be slightly more important because of what he's done, on and off the field, to the group, what he's shown them, and the genius of his play as well.
Ole, ole, ole is the latest chant inside Anfield. Salah picks up the ball on the right-hand side, tries to wriggle his way past Udogie, and cleared by Sarr. Mo Salah, who is likely to win the Golden Boot for a 4th time to equal the record of Thierry Henry. It'll be his first Golden Boot in 3 years.
Yeah, but he never lets you down. He keeps on going. He keeps on getting into brilliant positions. I think he's looked better, this season as it's going on. There's now and again, usually there's a little bit of a dip, but you'll notice even within that, he's still creating chances. He's still creating goals even if he's not scoring them. But his numbers over the last number of seasons for someone who's not a centre forward are just ridiculous.
A reminder, we're on air until 7 o'clock tonight as Salah picks it up and plays the ball in, and it was cut out by Udogie, who just threw himself at it at the near side of the 6-yard box to divert the ball away for a throw. We'll try and bring you as much live reaction as we can before we hand to 6:06 with Roman Kemp and Chris Sutton. But if we're not able to do that before 7 o'clock here on 5 Live, then don't forget the 5 Live Football Daily feed. We'll bring you all the reaction as we soak up as much as we possibly can down in the tunnel here at Anfield on this significant day for Liverpool Football Club, who lead Spurs by 5-1. 4.5 minutes of normal time remain.
I've just seen Van Dijk playing one of those balls that he's so good at. He doesn't do it as often, you know. He used to do it quite a lot. It's a 60-70 yard pass. It's languid, it's pinpoint, almost puts Andy Robertson through. But he chooses his time to play that ball now, and he used to do it much more often. I think he's looking after his stats. He doesn't want to give the ball away.
Harvey Elliott wanders across as he acknowledges the supporters by clapping back at them in front of the corner, and then he takes it quickly to Curtis Jones, edge of the area. Jones' shot takes the deflection, loops in the air. Vicario's come, Vicario hasn't got there, the referee's blown his whistle. Free kick to Spurs, still Liverpool 5-1. Just over 3 minutes remain.
And Liverpool would just love to get another goal. Tottenham at the moment would love that final whistle to blow. It's been a really chastening second half for them. They've tried to get forward as often as they could, but in simple terms, in almost every, well, let's take away the almost, in every single position, they've been second best today.
And Liverpool, who have been the best side in the Premier League this season, remember they went on that 26-game unbeaten run from mid-September to early April, are just minutes away from being confirmed. But the supporters throughout the afternoon have just been enjoying every single second of this. This is the type of afternoon that even those of a nervous disposition were just able to sit back and revel in.
What a relaxation it is if you're a Liverpool fan to just enjoy this, just to sing along, watch your team playing good football, having scored 5 goals, and Mo Salah running at people, just enjoying himself as well.
Bundled off the ball by Udogie, no foul. Up towards Richarlison, pushed over from behind. Liverpool supporters enjoyed that. That'll be a free kick to Tottenham.
No reaction at all from Richarlison. There is no answer in a day like this. You just get your head down, you work. I mean, the vast majority of players that play at the top level have actually found themselves, you know, at Anfield on the wrong side of a beating. When you hardly can get a kick of the ball, you just get your head down and work. You just deal with it, and as soon as you get off that pitch, you get off it.
This is going to be an 11th defeat on their travels for Spurs. Only Leicester and Southampton have lost more on the road. The last time that they lost 11 was the 2008-2009 campaign. They finished 8th that particular season. They're actually on course to finish lower than where they managed 21 years ago. That was when they finished 14th in 2004. We could say that they're going to focus on the Europa League, but it has been a dreadfully disappointing campaign when you consider that this time last season they were 5th. They were in a position where many people now are clamouring to get to.
Yeah, expecting to just move on from there. It just hasn't happened.
Bergwijn,
at all, apart from in Europe.
Sorry, Pat Bergwijn with a cross headed away. Still tussling for it in the Liverpool half. And now Jota passes the ball forward. Nunez, he's got Salah up with him. Nunez pulls it back towards Salah. They were desperate for Nunez to go for goal himself. Salah towards Elliott. Elliott shoots, blocks, and then downward header. Elliott will pick up that loose ball. Looks to link up with Robertson. They could have had another there.
You know what people are going to say, don't you? And that's Darwin. That's the problem with Darwin, isn't it? He's 1-on-1 and he tries to do the right thing, and it is the right thing if you find the player in the middle there. But it's a poor ball. It's ahead of him. Just zip it into Mo Salah's feet. He'll cope with anything. You don't need to put it in front of him. He'll cope with anything. Plays it too far in front of him, but there's another part that he thinks, look, strikers try to do the right thing and pass when 95% of them would try and smash it towards the goal. You want to applaud them, but typical Darwin Núñez. The easy ones, makes a mess of. The hard ones, levels into the top corner.
I think that would have just been the moment, wouldn't it, for Darwin Núñez to have got that goal. 4 minutes of added on time.
There's a cue down there somewhere as soon as we got the 90th minute. You start singing this song. Always the case.
And only now, as a banner being unfurled in the Kop with a picture of Arne Slot that reads champions for the 20th time, 2025, as the red and white scarves are held aloft all the way around Anfield. There's a solitary flag that waves in the Kop, and now there is another banner in black and white. Arne's champions. He tasted success with a title in Holland with Feyenoord in 2023. His first season in English football. He will be a champion in England.
Intriguing to see the reaction you're going to get down in that bench. You know, you're only supposed to have one standing up at a time. Well, there's about 6 or 7 or 8 all standing down in that technical area. And even though they've known it for some time, I mean, maybe weeks, maybe months, that they're going to win the league, you actually see the reaction from all the players, from Slot himself, from all the staff there, because it's been a long night. Whatever they do, just go on there and enjoy it.
Núñez forward for Liverpool. Jones, Jota, Núñez will shoot. Blocked by Ganso behind for a corner kick. We're into the second minute of the middle of 4 to be added on. The cameras are trained on the Liverpool bench. The Liverpool substitutes are turning to wave at their loved ones behind them in the main stand. A line of stewards in their orange luminous jackets are sat down in front of the advertising hoardings. A red smoke bomb is away towards our left-hand side. Another incessant chant of champions, champions reverberates inside Anfield. They lead Tottenham by 5 goals to 1. In comes the corner, headed away by Davis. Van Dijk to Konate, helps it out, Robertson can't keep the ball in play. And now the chant of we shall not be moved. It's just a question, and we're about 60 seconds away, Pat.
Yeah, and Richarlison, he couldn't hold back there. That'll make him very popular there, and I think certainly Richarlison will get one. Wonder if he'll go both ways, yeah. Wonder if he'll go both ways, yeah. RBL will get one as well. No need for that at that moment, but you can tell there's a bit of frustration down there as Richarlison. He tried hard to keep his head down before. Failed in this solution.
Elliott and Richarlison both booked by referee Thomas Bramall. Harvey Elliott wouldn't want to be sent off on a day like this, as the substitutes and the coaching staff down below are all poised. They're embracing each other in the technical area. Cody Gakpo going down the line, the two Dutchmen embrace. The Liverpool striker and the Liverpool manager. By my watch, we have 15 seconds remaining. Liverpool lead by 5 goals to 1. Fireworks being let off outside the stadium. Vicario catches the ball. They're forming a line, ready to celebrate. They said 5 years ago that it didn't feel real. Well, it feels real now. 5 years ago, due to COVID and social distancing, they were unable to celebrate. The only distance now is the 15 points that Liverpool have at the top of the Premier League. And for the first time in 12,783 days, they are able to celebrate in front of their own supporters. Liverpool are back on that perch. It's a record equalling 20th top flight title.
Thoroughly deserved, and congratulations to Liverpool and all the fans as well. And they showed today, you want to walk out in your last day when you win it, to come off thinking, that's why we're champions. And they did it today. And it's a lovely feeling as a player. If the moment is that special and it is beautiful and you have scored the goals and you can celebrate with comfort, with the joy of it, with the pure pleasure of knowing you deserve it, you're the best team, you play great football, and you're going to get better next year. What a great feeling it is around this place. And celebrating, and this is just the start.
There must be at least 20 red smoke bombs that have been let off, not just in the Kop, not just in the Sir Kenny Dalglish stand, not just in the Anfield Road stand away towards the left, but also in the main stand as a line of stewards have formed. Not one supporter has entered the pitch here at Anfield. And with the sun still shining and so much clear blue sky, Liverpool have so much daylight at the top of the Premier League, and they are going to enjoy this because they are the champions of England, beating Tottenham Hotspur by 5-1.
And these inside Anfield are just amazing scenes. When those fireworks started to go off outside the stadium, the thud, boom, boom. It was like the collective heartbeat of Anfield coming out of its chest. The air is thick with sulphur. A red cloud has just emerged to our right-hand side. It was a remarkable moment, Pat Nevin, when Mo Salah scored, because it felt like the emotional dam inside Anfield cracked, and then the full-time whistle went and it broke.
Yeah, as you say, we waited a long time. If you're a Liverpool fan, it's a huge amount of time. They will say, we have waited and waited. So the fact that you can go and watch Mo Salah go and finish it, Mo Salah, of all people, nip in from there and just ping it down the bottom corner. It's like perfection. And to win the game and get 5 goals after just a little bit of jeopardy, just a tiny wee bit of jeopardy at the start of the game. And I don't think as a Liverpool player didn't play too well today. I think really well. Everyone will think that. I had a good game today. My team had a good game today. The manager will think I put a good side out today. The fans will think we played our part today. I'm really struggling to think, I'm not looking for a win, but I'm really struggling to find a negative of this day for Liverpool Football Club.
Well, the Liverpool players now are right in front of their fans. Trent Alexander-Arnold is down there, whipping them up again. Mo Salah is now just draped in a big Liverpool flag in front of the fans to the right-hand side. And all of the signs and all of the banners are out now. I could see in the last few minutes those fans down to our right looking at each other nervously with their flag. Is it time to get it out? Shall we wait? And then it emerged. Arne Slot, Liverpool champions 20 times. This stadium is different to others. Some stadiums you will see the history of them all over the walls inside the ground. This many trophies, this many titles, this many victories. In Anfield, Pat Nevin, as more fireworks fly up into the sky to our right hand side, the history emerges from the top. The banners go up, the signs go up, the fireworks go up.
Yeah, to be honest, you can go away to black and white days, all the way back to when there was no seats at the top, and the different way that looked to the other stadiums, because the fans were moving almost as a mass, almost as an organism. And you look at it now, and it still feels like a real stadium. There are some stadiums around the country that don't feel real, even in big moments. Right there, I'm looking around the stadium. Can you see one empty red seat? No, and you won't see one for quite some time. But it is loving the football, loving the moment, loving what it means to their city. There'll be lots of great banners. There was one banner I think stood out very well there for me. It was just a picture of the Liverpool signature back on our perch. And I thought, oh, that's clever, that's neat. I've been waiting for that one. And this club feels that. This club feels that it deserves to be right at the top. It's been hard with Manchester City being so dominant for such a long time, and Liverpool have chased them down so many times. They've got them once, but this time they've actually been able to enjoy it, and that's not always been the case, has it? To be able to enjoy this bit. And these last few games, right now and until the end of the season, it's just fun, it's just celebration, it's just singing.
Well, we've been saying all afternoon that Liverpool fans have been waiting since 1990 to celebrate a title with their players on a day like this. Back in 1990, we didn't have mobile phones. In 2025, Mo Salah took a selfie when his shot hit the back of the net. Harvey Elliott has just booted the match ball about 30 rows back into the Kop. I can see down there a couple of the Liverpool players have got one of those fake Premier League trophies. Ryan Gravenberch has got one in his hands there. Well, they won't get their hands on the real one for a little while. That'll be the last home game before the end of the season. I can see Trent Alexander-Arnold again right in front of the fans down there. Mo Salah is just standing up on top of the advertising hoarding. And as those fireworks finished, I mean, you don't often see stars on a sunny afternoon, but that's what it looked like as they burst in front of us. And the stars are down on the pitch as well. And now they're being serenaded by the Liverpool supporters. By the way, it has finished in the FA Cup semi-final. Manchester City have beaten Nottingham Forest. Arsenal are 4-0 up at Lyon now in the Women's Champions League. And it looks very much like they will be going through. But Anfield is alive. So let's let them sing. Well, the Liverpool players just lined up, arm in arm, looking back at the Kop, drinking every single moment in. And now some of the more modern songs, the greatest hits of Liverpool, are starting to come out. Ian, I'll say this, in 2020, they were denied all of this. This, I think, for Liverpool is once more with feeling.
Well, on the final whistle, we said before the game about Jordan Henderson felt he felt cheated. He wasn't able to experience this. Whereas the Liverpool supporters inside Anfield now have been able to enjoy every single moment of it. You wait for the trophy lift as well, Crystal Palace on the last day of the season. And then the parade as well, come the end of May.
superb throughout. Arneslot, first Dutchman over the 12 different managers to win the Premier League. Marvellous achievement in his first season because not many people expected this. And we said it ahead of the game. Liverpool will be stronger next season. They're going to have a big summer. They are going to strengthen. But this is what Liverpool do. This is what Arneslot, when he bought into the culture of Liverpool, he wants Liverpool to be competing for titles, for Champions League and for the Cups. And he set his stall out in a remarkable first season.
Well, the Liverpool players now are just wandering away from the Kop to the rest of Anfield. They're just positioned now in front of the Sir Kenny Dalglish stand, immediately opposite us. Alisson at the front of the queue, goalkeeper gloves still on, arms above his head, applauding. Closer to the Kop, Harvey Elliott is still down there, red and white scarf, whipping back and forth. The Champions Wall outside Anfield is out of date. It says 19, but they've got 20. Someone will start the chiselling tomorrow morning, I'm sure. There is some amazing museum-esque statues and plinths outside Anfield. I'm reminded now of one which has a quote from Bob Paisley on it. It says, "This club has been my life. I'd go out and sweep the street and be proud to do it for Liverpool if they ask me." That's a Liverpool great manager of the past. The one of the present has just had his moment in front of the Kop, punching the air. Some would say Jurgen Klopp style, but he is very much his own man. So Slot won, Fagan won, Klopp won, Kane won, McQueen, Ashworth won, Watson 2, Dalglish 3, Shankly 3, and Paisley 6. And those quotes from him are next to the statue of Bob Paisley carrying Emlyn Hughes off the pitch famously at Anfield in 1968. And Pat Nevin, I mention it now because everyone who's won anything big at Liverpool is worked into the fabric of Anfield. That is the reward for everybody we're looking at down on the pitch.
Yeah, and I think people know that. They know that in the football world, but they know that around the world as well. And he knows that. Slot knows that now. I'm part of it. And I am. And you see him going up there, he's dancing. Not the best dance I've ever seen, just now, but you know, he will also think the way those other great managers thought. Okay, that's a start. Let's push forward. Because they don't become great. So, you know, he is in the pantheon, but you become a great, but keep on doing it. And to do it your first one, it might look. He knows it's not easy. It's not easy. I think the next one will be harder. I actually do, and it's not because of Liverpool. Daniel said that it's going to be hard next season because everyone else will improve, and so will Liverpool. But they've got to catch Liverpool now, don't they? They're walking around there, and I'm thinking of every player down there. They remember this moment for the rest of their entire lives. But so will every single person in the city. I'm looking at you, I bet you remember this your entire life.
Yeah.
You will. And it's how many days in your life are really like that. And then you add the spectacle that's around this just now. It's when football is very, very special. Now, I'm not a Liverpool fan. A lot of people aren't Liverpool fans out there, but see if it's your club. It will stay with you forever. And it's a real honour to be among and magnanimously, hopefully, say, well done, brilliant play, you deserve this. And by the way, the behaviour around the place behind today has been phenomenal. Not just by backing their club and singing along. Nobody run on the pitch after the game either. Everybody let everyone else enjoy the day. And that's why everybody's still here having a party.
Arneslot is actually wearing a Liverpool player's shirt now. For a second I thought it was one of those Champions 20 times tops, but he's actually wearing a player's shirt, and so are some of the other members of his coaching staff. The players have now appeared right down beneath us, many of them in those celebratory tops, some of them still in their shirts. The supporters that we saw at the Glenbook Hotel earlier today, some of them had arrived in their going out gear because they knew they didn't want to go home between the full-time whistle and the night out. There'll be some of them who probably never want to go home because they are enjoying the most special moment with their heroes down there. And it just feels, Pat, that almost all of Anfield is still here.
Yeah, they are. Well, I can't see the seats.
I don't think anyone's moved.
and not just them. The players, they're not interested in going off just now. They want to stay on, they want to lap it, and rightly so. You've got to do that. You've got to enjoy every second of it. It's such a rare thing for most clubs and most players. Because we watch the finals and because we watch the leagues being won, we think, oh, that's a normal thing, that happens all the time. It's rare, trust me. It's unbelievably rare. And maybe some of the older players, I've been watching specifically Virgil van Dijk and Mo Salah. They've done this before. But they know now. Don't let us go. This might have been their last moment. It's not going to be. They might not win anything again. But they know at their age and with their experience how important these moments are. Don't be cool with it. Love it. And they are milking it for every second of it. And this helps as well. You're talking about the other thing about Arne Slot and the players and the fans here. It kind of nails that relationship, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It kind of builds that relationship together. They're going to need each other again. They're really going to need each other again. And they'll be there for each other. And it's moments like these that really cement it.
I've had my eyes for the last 30 seconds or so on Trent Alexander-Arnold, actually, and I'm remembering back to the full-time whistle in the Champions League final in Paris when Liverpool had lost to Real Madrid, and it was his error that gave Real Madrid their goal, really, not tracking Vinicius. And I remember watching Trent Alexander-Arnold standing in the centre circle in that stadium, and he didn't move a muscle for about 5 minutes. Now he can't keep still, like all of his Liverpool teammates. And look, I'm sure Pat Nevin, and it feels like his decision might well have been made, he'll be drinking in every moment, of course he will. He'll also have to be thinking, well, this is what I'm saying goodbye to.
I honestly think, if he does leave, he will be missed, but he will miss this place extraordinarily. I mean, sometimes something looks great, and Real Madrid might look brilliant, and it's a hard one to turn down if he does eventually go there. It doesn't always work out the same way. He's so dearly loved here, and even though a lot of people think that he's going away, the reaction to him walking off the pitch here is brilliant. The reaction between him and the fans has been brilliant. They know they're on, but don't forget them.
Liverpool players again emerge and sprint toward the Kop, led by Alisson, who punches the air right in front of the fans again. The Premier League trophy has emerged once more, this time in banner form. We've seen it in inflatable form. We'll see the real thing after their final home game of the season. And still the sort of red smoke that emerged from our right-hand side has yet to completely disperse. But what was a cloud is now just a wisp. Here they come again. This time it's Virgil van Dijk spinning in circles and waving that flag around his head. Arne Slot and the rest of the Liverpool coaching staff have now just formed a tight little group on the halfway line. And there are new banners, new memories being formed in front of the Kop here between the Liverpool supporters and the Liverpool players. Alisson is the first just to have had a little bit too much of the celebration and is sat down now with his legs splayed, just looking back at the Kop, which is all on its feet, as you could imagine. Liverpool have done it for the 20th time. They've equalled Manchester United's number. There's a pile-on now going on just outside the penalty area. I can see Darwin Núñez down there amongst the sea of Liverpool players. The celebrations are continuing here. Hopefully we'll be able to bring you some live reaction. 6:06 is on the way in 15 minutes time. Whilst we continue to drink this in and wait for a few more interviews, hopefully, let's take you to Wembley Stadium, where correspondent John Murray has watched Manchester City book their place in the FA Cup final.
Yes, well, Liverpool were taking the Premier League title from Manchester City in front of you. Here at Wembley, City are in the FA Cup final, where they will play Crystal Palace in 3 weekends' time. A third consecutive FA Cup final for Manchester City. They've never done that before. They were good winners as well. They've got a grip.
finally moving on. Thank you for the gift, Jay. Thank you for the roses, Joel. Thank you.
Non have the face for it, that's what it is. You never got the face for live, you know. Ah, yes. Check out one lap. There you go. Nice one, mate. Take it easy, boy. Yes, of course, I'll say yes. Yes, mate. Come on, up the Reds.
Oh, fucking unbelievable.
Was you up there actual game, yeah?
Oh yeah, fucking just come out now.
Oh, amazing, mate.
Crazy.
They're all achieving yourself.
Crazy.
Oh.
Honestly.
Are you having all the works on it, mate? All, everything? Can go all mad on it? That's it.
Got all that.
Oh, wait there. Sit down.
I've just loads of videos and everything. People everywhere, but and then I got it says
oh, that looks. Oh,
hang on. Fucking
it's not too many photos.
Fucking loads of them. Yeah, there. I'll take that one back because it shows the champions. The champions.
Oh my dear, that's unreal. That.
Up on the notice board and that.
Yeah.
Round.
That's crazy.
It was fantastic.
Ever. Oh, mate.
I've waited 35 years to actually see them. We didn't do it 5 years ago. We couldn't see them, could we?
No.
But Liverpool's going to be buzzing, isn't it?
Absolutely, mate.
Yes.
No, mate, so do you want to be on the red service, red sauce and the plate for Liverpool?
Just the hundreds and thousands, mate. Yeah.
Strawberry one or strawberry sauce?
Strawberry sauce, yeah.
We'll have a little flake on there. Right,
quiet around here, we're not even too far from the stadium, and it's just all quiet. Yeah.
That's just real.
Well, Old Trafford on match days is a lot louder than this. Yeah. Yeah. Going to a library. Yeah, Anfield is a library, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know what's happened to Liverpool.
Thank you, Charlie. Thank you for the roses. Guys, please let's stop the live. Let's like and share. Oh, thank you, Charlie. Thank you for the roses, Michael. Thank you. Thank you for the roses, guys. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Oh, I don't know who is gonna clean this. Oh God.
I know.